Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Shop at Home Classic event here at Stamp and Scrapbook Expo. We're so glad that you're joining us this morning. Expo Dave here with the one and only Miss Vickyville.
Good morning.
And running our behind the scenes is Mr. Tabor up in Washington today. Sean was having a little bit of technical problems in West Hollywood, trying to get his internet going, but we're glad that you're with us, and we have a lot of great shopping today, a lot of great presentations, and of course always the great show specials.
Yes,
for sure.
Absolutely.
And I want to do a shout out. We had such a wonderful time in Duluth. Oh my gosh, Vickyville, the guests were so wonderful. It was just like going home. We had great vendors there, so it was just a phenomenal show.
Okay, so since it's the first show back, what was the most amazing part of the thing? Like I can imagine it was very emotional.
It was. Parts of it were. It was just like like for me, it was just like it was just time for the Duluth show, But the one thing is that everybody was just so appreciative, and they mentioned how much that they enjoyed watching us at home while we couldn't be there.
Awesome.
And everybody, we had a lot of stories. We had people were telling us what they had been doing, their different crafting, cleaning out. So it was really great.
I know it was always exciting, like day one, and you open the.
Yes.
We don't really have gates, but
yes.
When you open to come in,
yes.
How was that? I mean, to see the guests come.
Oh my gosh! We have
I would probably be like.
It was awesome. We went out, so of course we have the Mega Make and Take event on Thursday at our shows, and of course people started lining up. We had a big line and went out and said hi to them, and we were doing cheers and everything. They were just so glad to be together. It was a lot of people. That was where that was their weekend, and they were able to get together.
That's so nice.
And it was really great.
I think what would be really neat is, because we know so many of you from your names from online, and so it would be so cool to see by your name. It's funny, we used to know them by their face. Yeah. Now we know them by their order or their name that comes up. So I bet along the next year and years to come, we're going to get to be like, oh, I know you. I've been talking to you on Facebook.
They come up and say, I saw you, and then they, of course, I'll ask about Vickyville. She had to stay here because, we're getting ready for Schaumburg coming up in August.
Here at the warehouse,
Yeah, so, but it was just so wonderful. Excuse me. Wonderful. One of our guests, Miss Leanne, she brought me my favorite, which were some pickles. She brought me peach jam, blackberry jam, apple butter.
Oh my gosh, Leanne! I'm going just for Nick.
Yes. So that great Southern hospitality.
She's just the sweetest.
And I managed to get about half of those here, and the next half will be coming back. So I wrapped them up real good and brought them back in my suitcase. So,
I see what you mean.
Yes, I couldn't carry them on. But we certainly appreciate you guys coming to the show, and you know what? Let us know. Let us know what you enjoyed. Comment. We had a lot of great vendors that were there.
Right. On the Facebook groups for Duluth, just what you enjoyed, how you were feeling.
Yeah. Maybe you saw a new product.
Maybe you saw a new vendor, and just give us kind of like what you love. What was the best part?
Exactly.
Did you love seeing Dave? How was everything? We'd love to hear from you.
They love the jokes.
Oh yay!
But we were excited, and so we have Schaumburg coming up in August 20th, 21st. So, and for those of you who are coming to Schaumburg, you have our, we put out our vendor list of what vendors are going to be there. So if you see one of your favorite vendors that's not on there, hey, give them a shout out. Say, hey, we'd love to see you there, And some are able to come and some aren't, but we want you to make sure that you show them some love, that, if they can't come this year, maybe they'll be there next year. So
absolutely.
And also exciting. new show announced this week that we're going to Mesa, Arizona.
Yay!
And let me look at the dates. That is September 17th and 18th.
That is so exciting.
I can't wait. Another great group of crafters that we're going to see there. Yes. And so we will be having, our registration will be opening up soon. So just keep checking back on the show page for that show, and as we add and you know, because we have a couple of things in the works that we're going to be doing, so just keep watching for more information as well. And then if your favorite show location hasn't been posted yet, we are still collecting information, so as we open up shows that we're going to be doing, you'll check that out, and you'll get the information. So make sure that if you haven't already done so, that you sign up for our weekly newsletter that not only talks about our at-home events, but it also will give you information on our upcoming shows, like I said, as we add those.
And Dave, can you think a year ago, who would have thought we'd be getting back to our shows? Like how amazing is this time, just hearing that another show opened, and maybe another one, and maybe another, and it's just, isn't it so exciting around here? I mean, every time we're just we're here at Expo, we're just in tears, so excited to be out there with you all, and you know, connecting. It's just fabulous, and the vendors, and you got to see meet the vendors in person.
You know what?
Right?
I'm just like our guests who, you know, maybe hadn't met me or Sean. You know, you've seen us on virtual, and we did the same thing with some of our virtual exhibitors that we only knew virtually. So it was just phenomenal. Just a lot of love, and everybody was appreciative, and we know it's, you know, our shows are about getting together and sharing memories. So
exactly.
It was really good. So make sure that you go to Craft at Home. Excuse me. I'm going to have to drink some more tea here. craftathomeevents.com, and you'll sign up for our newsletter, and then you will be informed. Basically, we're informed weekly about what's going on, because when they say we're going to do Mesa, let's get a palette ready for Mesa.
Exactly.
So, and we already got it started, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
That's what we'll be doing.
We said yesterday, we were working so hard, we said, we don't need to go to the gym today.
Exactly.
Not that I do, but I just, if I did, I would.
That's our gym in the warehouse. Yes.
But I'm so excited, Dave. Also, have you been watching the Olympics, anybody? I know the opening ceremony was yesterday.
Yes.
It's just I remember when they were, my favorite year of all so far. I mean, I love all the years, but 1984, because that's when the last time the Olympics were in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember watching, my dad loved sports, and that I think that's what reminds me. Is that time in 1984. That I love that year. But the Olympics is so exciting.
I love you know, the opening ceremony. You know, it's so. I mean, it is a ceremony, and how they do it, and lighting that cauldron when it opened up like a flower. I don't know if that's what it is, but that's what it looks like. But that was beautiful. But
Tokyo is just amazing. Someday I would love to go to Tokyo, Japan. Oh my God, I'd just love to.
Well, and I would want to mention, since we're talking about the Olympics, when I was in high school, we took a summer trip to Montreal, and we actually, and I should bring them in. So we got to visit the venues where the Olympics had been held.
Neat.
So it was really cool. So
I love it. I can't wait to keep on watching all for the next 2 weeks.
Go USA!
Go USA!
Phenomenal. You know, they're not only phenomenal athletes, but you know, I've seen a lot of interviews, and you know, they're just phenomenal people.
Children to get to where they. I mean, goodness, it's amazing. So I can't wait. Is anybody else watching? Are they as invested as me and my family?
Now remember, the Olympics, they're going to be on all the time, but you want to make sure that you stay tuned with us.
Yeah, that's true.
Well today.
Just till what time? 12:30
today. So
then you go back.
Go back for it, and you can always re-watch us on YouTube as well. So
that's true.
So everybody, it is time, and our first presenter. Look, we got a little Riley moose from Tanya. So enjoy.
With our name on it.
Yes. So enjoy our first presentations, everybody. And gosh, we'll be back with some show specials for you. Take care.
Hi everyone, it's Tanya with Riley and Company. Glad to see you this morning. I have got so many fun things to show you. I am going to dive right in. I'm going to turn this around and be prepared to go woo, because it's Christmas in July at Riley and Company. Hang with me. All right, first off, you get to see my messy desk when I do these. This is our 2021 Christmas Advent Calendar. Is this incredible? It will come unassembled, of course. Yes, I don't assemble these, but it's very, very easy. All of these drawers, I actually did not use any glue on these. You just use a little hammer and they snap in place, and they're big enough to hold two of these little candy bars. Yep. So there's that. It's gorgeous. You can paint it if you want. It will come with a set of mini lights to go back behind it. There's Santa on the roof. Very easy project to put together. That is on our website now. Are you ready for this? Look at that. It's a Halloween box. It's so amazing. Look. I have to say, this is one of my favorites. It will come unpainted, of course, just like the Christmas, but it's super easy. All you have to do is grab your black acrylic paints. I used the cheapest stuff I had, so I just painted it orange on the inside, black on the outside, painted a little green here and orange there, and just added some crystal lacquer. I don't know if you can see it. And then I added stickles on this. Super easy. You can put anything in it you want. I would say it's probably 8 by 8. I'm not for sure. Another really easy project to put together. Of course, if you're wondering what in the world is in the background, that is my blender cabinet. That's available in a kit too. In case you've never seen that, it's a lot of fun and I use it all the time. Okay, now speaking of kits, I'm going to get you turned around. I've only got 20 minutes today, and for those of you that know me, you know that me talking for 20 minutes is the easiest thing on the planet. So I'm going to try to get you hooked up here without losing you. Now, are you ready for this? This, I'm not for sure. We taped these a couple weeks early, so I'm really not for sure if this is still available, but I'm hoping that it is. And I'm going to try to do a card out of it today. This is our first Christmas in July kit. All right, it has these 3 cards in it. There's that one. This is the one I'm going to try to show you how to do today. And this one, I just told Santa's naughty list. Ironically, it's almost identical to my friend's list, and that is a true story. So there is one. It comes with a beautiful Echo Park gingerbread Christmas paper pad. The second kit that is on our website, I don't have a packaged one here, but it comes with an embossing folder from Cartabella. And these 3 cards, everything's pre-cut, of course, everything's pre-stamped, of course, and it's got in the instructions and all that good stuff. So here is the first one. You will notice this is a saying that you have not seen before, and it is because it's from our new release, but we're releasing the card kits before we're releasing the funny bones, so everybody gets a little taste of it, and I love this saying so much. Oh, the weather outside can bite me, and my car won't start to spite me, and I can't feel any of my toes. Winter blows, winter blows, winter blows. The next one, hot chocolate is like a hug from the inside. Love this little guy. And then the last one is also from our newest release that you don't see yet, but it's a little bookmark that you make, I believe in Santa Paws. And these kits are available on the website as well. You guys, we're making double the amount for the Christmas card kits, and they're selling out anyway, so get out there and get them. Now I want to try to make Oh, sorry. I have one more thing to show you, and I cannot help myself. I really cannot help myself. We have a new designer for Dress Up Riley, and we have a new designer for Mushroom Lane. And starting in the first week of August, we are going to release 2 brand new dress up sets. I have to show you, they're ridiculous. I'll show you the sets when we release them, but just to give you a little sneak peek, I did some coloring because I could not help myself. It's a superhero set. We have Captain America. We have Harley Quinn. We have the Hulk. And we have Ricky as Captain America. Remember, these are dress-up sets. They fit all of them. Look at that. I am Iron Moose. Here's a little Thor going on for you. Is this insane or what? I can't show you this last one. Well, yes, I can. No, I can't. Yes, I can. No, I can't. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to show you. And y'all out there are giving me fits right now. I know. Oh. And a Wonder Woman cow. I'm rolling. You guys will love this new designer. She takes everything to the next level. I mean, absolutely everything to the next level. She's crazy. Wait till you see the new Mushroom Lane. We have a new urban chic business district for Mushroom Lane, and wait until you see them. I cannot get enough of them. Think 50s diner and all these really cool little shops that you can go shopping at. Okay, first thing that we're gonna do is I want to do a little project, and hopefully I'll get to the card. So I am going to show you this first. Now, I don't know if you can see this. Feeling kind of grouchy, holiday spirit can't be found? Just try these little Grinch pills. They're the best medicine around. Whether eating a whole handful or munching on 1 or 2, these tasty little pills will take the Grinch right out of you. These are just little Skittles, or not Skittles, but Sixlets. I love to have these hanging around for people just in case, and I'm going to show you how easy this is. And the reason I'm showing you this is that we have these kits available to do them, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to do one real quick. So all you're going to do is you're just going to take a piece of paper. I put them in the bag and then measured my paper according to my bag, correct? So I'm just going to fold it in half. Whoops. Super easy. Okay, well, actually you try to fold it in half straight. You can also use a die and fold the paper and then cut around it, but I'm not going to do it because I want to get through a couple. I'm going to take just some green ink, and it's already pre-inked. So I'm just going to go around the outside edge of this. Okay, I'm just going to glue this on with my zip tray. Alrighty. Okay, now we are just going to tuck this inside. Sometimes I tape it, sometimes I don't. With this bag, it's wide enough. I am just going to take a punch, a hole punch. This is a 1/16. You can use a 1/8 as well. And I have these little green brads. My hands are not working this morning. Okay, and put those on there. And then I'm going to line it up and do the same on the other side. I am so excited about these projects. These are fun for any kid that might be having a problem, any adult that might be having a problem, for your stamping group. You know, it's an economical little project you can do. Okay, so now we've got them set up, and I really don't have that straight, do I? But we're gonna take this, I'm gonna show you how very quickly and easily, watch my time. Okay, so quickly and easily that you color this. So he's just the Grinch. So you just find a green. I used 𝐂𝐲07. Usually any yellow green that you have with Copic will work. And I'm gonna come down and just do his chin and color him all in, and then do his little fur there. In his hands. Excuse me. And then underneath. Okay, now remember I told you that you can shadow with the same stamp for those of you that have watched me for a while. So I'm just going to go back around the edges of his chin and underneath here and a little line under here just to give it a little bit of a shadow. Okay, super easy. I'm going to grab my E47 that we normally use for his antlers and do that real quick. This is the easiest stamp in the world to color. Well, maybe not in the world, but you know what I mean. All right, so we've got that. And now the only thing left to do, I've got an R27. You can use pretty much any red in your coloring arsenal as well. And I'm going to color up to the little dots. And I am just going to come in and do this little Santa shirt. I don't know about you guys, but seriously, I know the Grinch, the old one, because I like the old one, by hearts. All right, we are done. If you want to use the same marker and go back in again and color just to give it a little bit of shadow, that's great. Then on this one, I attached him to the green. I still can't decide whether I really like it or not. So on the one I'm showing you, I'm going to do it a different way. And I'm just going to attach him right up there in the corner. Okay? And then you can make your choice. Now, the reason that I wanted to show you this is our specials. Oops, I don't need any on that fit. Our specials are, you get free shipping at $25, but isn't that cute? I love that way. You get free shipping at $25. However, we have these kits for the Grinch pill toppers. I know, you're welcome, right? This is so cool. So in the kit, we have cut three, you get both stamps, the Grinch and the Grinchy saying, okay? And you get enough papers and stuff to make 3 little bags, not including the candy. All right. So you'll get 3 circles, 3 of these, and we're mixing and matching. One I did on candy cane paper, one I did on stripes. So you'll get 3 of those, and we'll give you 6 brads as well. So everything is in there. You will get one of these kits free with a $100 order. So free shipping at $25. Free with a $100 order, or they're on our website for only $15 for all of this to make 3, and just the stamps alone are $13. So you're getting a really good deal. So we'll have that. I am done, and woo! I think I have enough time to do one more card for you. I just wanted to get in a couple projects today. So we're going to do one of the cards out of the first Christmas in July kit. I absolutely adore this card. It is so cute. It is so easy. And I'm going to show you just how simple our cards are to make. Now, when you get our kits, of course, they have everything pre-cut for you and pre-stamped, and a photograph so you can follow along. And that's what I do. And even though I made the card, I still follow along. And it also has instructions. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm just going to fold my card base in half. Okay. I'm going to attach, actually, I'm going to reach into my, nah, I'm not going to trim this one out. Normally I would put an edge on here, but I'm not going to this time. So I am just going to glue this on. And for those of you that hear me rave and rave and rave, whoops. Okay, that goes on like that. Alrighty. This is going to come in behind it and go on like that. And it would appear that I cut this too wide. If you get it and it's that way in your kit and you don't like it, just trim off that side. So you will also have one of these. We're just going to attach it to the bottom. And there is our base. Super easy. All right. And seriously, I am following along. And for those of you I was saying earlier that hear me talk about zip dry so much, when I was putting this together, I changed my mind like 3 times, and I just kept peeling the saying off and making a new one and putting it back on, and peeling the saying off and putting it back on. And I could do that because it was with zip dry and I didn't have to remake everything else. So now going along to this piece. All right, all we're going to do is I'm going to find a pair of scissors, and I don't have any little ones here, so I'll just use a big pair. All we're going to do is just cut in like this, and we're going to cut in like this, and then we're just going to glue it on the back. Okay, on your piece of paper, which is going to be completely too long, and it's supposed to be. So all we're going to do is just trim that out, that, and I'm going to straighten it back up. And how can I do that? You guys already know, because I'm using zip dry. All right, so on this, super easy, we're just going to use some foam tape, turn it over, and attach it. All right. Now, that is just going to go right up here. Now you are going to take these little guys that are in the kits. This is Gingerbread, Riley, and Sophie, and I'm just going to cut them apart. Now I'm going to show you how to finish the card without coloring, because seriously, oops, I just cut her dry. These are so simple. I'll do one real quick, and all you're going to do, it's one color, E33, one color out throughout the whole thing. If you're looking for a card that you can do a lot of, it is really this simple. And I go off the edges. Of course, you guys have seen me do that a million times. Okay. You can come back in with E35, or you can use the same marker and just do the edges. Super easy. I may or may not have enough time. So I'm going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do, you're just going to take a red and a green marker and just color their buttons in. And I do every other one, so I'm going to take a green marker and do this. So that is a horrible coloring job, but that's what I'm going to do for today. Now I'm going to show you how we're going to assemble it. And hopefully I'll have enough time to finish that off. I use excessive foam, don't I? You guys are out there probably going, geez, you don't need to use that much. It's all right. Now what I really wanted to do was show you guys, all right. We're going to stick him over here. Okay, we're going to stick her over there. She's so cute. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to, I'm going to have to color this edge in a little bit. All right. And don't worry, it'll come back and it'll color in just fine. There's my lid. Now you have a very long string in this kit. So what we're going to do is kind of measure it out. All right. And we're just going to cut off a piece. And then we're just going to make 2 bows with the other. Okay. So I gave you lots of material to work with, because I know some of you out there just hate bows. I get it. I really do. So there's one of them. We're going to trim it off. Okay, we're going to set that aside. Do another one. And while I'm doing this, I'll just remind you the show specials are free shipping with any $25 order, and a free Grinch topper kit with both stamps with a $100 order. Okay, now we're gonna go. I am going to get a couple little pop dots for this string. Uh-oh, and I just threw it away. A little piece that I cut off. So, thank goodness I have more. All right, I'm going to take a couple pop dots, little baby ones, and I'm going to put on her hands. If I can get them off here. Put one there, and one there. And that is how I'm going to determine exactly how long I want this little banner. Just like that. All right. Then you have 3 of these guys. All you're going to do is fold them in half. 1, 2, and they're plenty long enough. And then you're just going to take your scissors and do that to all 3 of them. That's, and you're just going to put a little drop of glue on the inside of all 3. One, 2, 3. Then we're going to just center them on the string. And it's going to stay in place because you already have it pop dotted down. And the thing with using the dots is you can always pull this back up. Okay, it doesn't have to stay there. So if you like it a little tighter, just pull your string a little tighter. Okay. And you can get it exactly where you want it. The last thing to do is put 3 little hearts on here. Oops, that is a lot of glue. But no problem. It's zip dry. Yeah. So there's one for there. Actually, I think I'm going to do these there. There's a sparkly one. And there's a sparkly one. And here's a red one. And last, we're going to take our bows and attach them to the glue dots. I'm going to trim this off. And I covered most of that glue dot. I'm going to add just a little bit of glue and add my bow. And finally, you have one little heart that goes up here. And let's see, I've got a little bit of time, so I am just going to come back in and finish coloring him for you. Don't try this at home. It's really hard to color when it's on a piece of foam, but I want to show you how cute it is. And I'm being so messy, I cannot even believe I'm doing this on video. This is hilarious. But it's all supposed to be fun, right? All right. So E33 is what I use for gingerbread. Then you can come in and use it again to darken just that. And I just missed so much stuff up here in their little feet. And then I'm going to do the opposite for his. I'm going to put a red in the middle and 2 greens. And there you go. We did 2 projects. Ha ha! There you go. Is that not adorable? Thanks very much for watching, everyone, and have a fantastic day.
Happy summer! I'm Trisha Morris from Club Scrap, and today I'll be sharing my new quad card box project. I'm calling it that because it is a box that holds 4 cards. I'm using Club Scrap's brand new collection released in July called Let It Be, along with my clever and efficient cutting formulas and some really fun time-saving techniques. The first time we do the project, I just encourage you to sit back and watch how it all comes together, and then go back and watch this video again at your leisure to make one of your own. Let's get started. Let's take another look at this quad card box. I've got a ribbon closure, a simple decoration on the front, and when you open it, you will see a box, decoration on the left here, and inside the box, as I mentioned, are 4 cards, 2 each that are very similar, and then I've also added 4 envelopes to the inside of the box. The coolest part about this project is that it only requires, get this, 4 sheets of paper. Isn't that awesome? So I'm going to be using some basic materials that I really love, including my Fiskars trimmer that we carry here at Club Scrap. Can't recommend that enough, as well as my 4-pocket organizer. Now, if you don't have one of these organizers, it's okay. You're just going to need to keep 4 or 5 piles handy as we organize all the pieces that we trim at the beginning of our time together. I also have a copy of my trimming instructions, which we will make available to you through a special link, and my materials gathered. For starters, from the Let It Be card kit, I'm using a dark yellow paper, the print from the card kit, a brown plain, and this beautiful textured ivory linen paper. Now, in my instructions, I always provide a very detailed diagram as well as written instructions that you can follow to create whatever we happen to be making. For this first set, do you see that really bold arrow on the diagram for this first color? That means the paper grain should dip easily from left to right. The reason for being aware of the grain direction is because later on we'll be folding the card in that direction, and we don't want to have one of those crumpled, ugly folds. So to determine the grain, just hold the paper by an edge, study whether it's dippy or stiff, and then rotate it 1 turn to study the behavior of the paper. Here you see how stiff it is, and then this way you can see how easily it dips in this direction, and that's exactly what we want, it dipping left to right. So I'll place this in the trimmer, and I'm going to go ahead and trim at 8.5. Now, if you're a card maker, you can use this formula again and again to make card bases. Then rotate that 8.5-inch piece and trim it at 11 and 5.5. Now, you just made 2 card bases. These are the same size. As I mentioned, we're making 4 cards, so I'm going to use the 4 pockets of my clever little organizer here to separate all of the pieces for each of the 4 individual cards. So put one of these in pocket C, or the 3rd pocket, and one of these in pocket D. Now that leaves us with this really thin little strip here. I'm going to go ahead and trim that at 6 1/4. And set this one aside because this is going to be part of the box lid, and believe it or not, I'm using this in card set B, or card B. Now I'm going to take the remaining strip, we'll trim this horizontally at 9 1/4, 6 1/2, and 3 1/4. Then take this 3 1/4-inch piece and rotate it and cut again at 3 1/4 to make a square. Put the square in pocket or pile B. Put this other larger piece in A. This, my friends, I'm sorry to say, is a scrap. Then you have 2 more pieces the same size. Put one in C and one in D. So we've got our distribution of things happening, and so far 1 tiny little scrap. Now we're moving on to this beautiful printed paper from the Let It Be kit, and I'm going to just, if your print has an orientation, I'm going to put the top of the print on my left, and I'm going to trim at 10 1/4 and 6 1/4, and then rotate and trim at 9 and 4 1/2. Now both of these pieces will be used to decorate the outside and inside cover of my little box. So I'm going to set these aside. And there's a small rectangle left over. I'm going to trim this one at 3 1/4 and take that 3 1/4 inch piece and put it in pocket A. And then this other square goes in pocket B. The next piece to the right of my trimmer, I'll cut horizontally at 10 1/2 and 5 1/4. Put one in pocket C and one rectangle in pocket D. And then this, I'm going to flip it over to the plain side and set it with the things I'm going to be using to make my little book. There should be one more strip, and this one will trim horizontally at 11 and 5 1/2. And I'm going to put one in pocket A and the other in pocket B. And my friends, this is a scrap. So just hang in there with me a little longer for some more trimming. This time I'm going to check the grain direction again, and I want the paper to dip easily from top to bottom. We'll make 2 cuts. The first one's at 11 3/4, and then 7 1/2, and then rotate and cut at 9. This will become the tray that actually creates our box. And then we have this little rectangle here that I'll trim at 3 3/4. And I'm going to take one of these rectangles and put it in pocket C and the other in D. Next, we have this larger piece here. I'm going to trim it horizontally at 11. I'll place this in pocket B. And this little piece, I'm sorry to say, is a scrap. And this long one, I'm going to be incorporating it into the cover. So I'm going to set that aside with all the materials for my tray. And then I have an ivory plane. This one, I'm going to be trimming it so the paper dips easily from top to bottom. This one's important. And I'll start by trimming at 6 1/2. Rotate, trim at 11. And 10 1/4. Now this becomes the tray lid. So once again, I'll set that aside. This, both of these strips need to be trimmed at 5 1/4. If you can't see, you can bring your paper down a little lower level with this guide right here. So the skinnier one goes in pocket D and the wider one can go in C. It doesn't really matter. Then we have this larger piece remaining. So let's trim this at 8 1/2. And this large piece goes in pocket A. And then this final rectangle will trim at 4 3/4. This one will go in pocket B. And I'm sorry to inform you that we have just a few additional small scraps. So as we are making this, this will be the only thing not used from your 4 sheets of paper that we started with to create the folio, the tray, the lid, and the whole thing, and then the 4 cards. I'm going to grab my score pal. Let's do the most important scoring that we need to do in order to make the tray and the lid. So I'm going to take this larger white piece. It's 6 1/2 by 10 1/4, and we'll score it 4 3/4 and 5 1/2. And we can just set that aside. Now this piece, I want to score 3/4 of an inch and 1 1/2 inches from every outside edge. So just rotate and continue. There, now you have the whole perimeter scored. In your envelopes, there are also several card bases. I'm going to choose to wait to do my scoring until a little bit later. Now here we have all the pieces required to make our tray and lid. Let's start by making the tray for our little box. And I like to work with this piece of paper in a vertical orientation. And I like to have the bumps facing up as I prepare some tabs. So with the paper vertically positioned, I'm going to start at the second score line and I'm going to remove it with my scissors. So I'll cut from the left side of the line up to the second intersecting score line and repeat on the other side to make this little V-shaped dart and remove that piece of paper. If you've been following me for a while, you've seen me make a box like this before many times. Now I'm going to cut to the left of this first score line, come in from the edge of the paper, and remove that corner and score line all together. And what that does is makes a tab and a corner. This is in the right-hand corner, and I'm going to go to the left corner and do the same thing. So second score line, I'll remove it by cutting a dart to the second intersecting score. And then I'm going to angle toward this intersecting corner here and remove it from the left edge, remove the corner. And now I've created 2 tabs that are running parallel with each other. This is important. Rotate 180 degrees, not horizontally, but make sure the paper is vertically positioned, and repeat the exact same thing. So just cut your darts and remove your corners. Now you can just fold on all of the score lines all the way around to create these little tabs and flaps. On these small tabs, you only need to fold on the second score. You don't need to do the first one. When you finish folding, now it's time to glue this into a box, and this is very, very easy. I'll begin by using some ATG tape, and I'm going to go along the outer long flap on this side and on this side. All you need to do here is just glue this flap onto its neighbor by pushing down on the adhesive. Isn't that easy? Then these tabs kind of get turned inward, and I'm going to apply glue to the outer flap on the short edges. That's why I like to work vertically, so you can always keep your orientation straight. Now we're going to form side walls by turning these walls upward, and then the tabs are turned at a 90-degree angle, and bring this short wall up and around the tabs to form a little tray. Rotate and repeat to do the same thing on the other side, up and around. And you're locking those tabs inside, making a triple wall here, a double wall here. So a nice sturdy little box. Now we have our beautiful textured ivory linen that was included in the Let It Be kit. I'll fold on those score lines that we made earlier. And this next step is optional. If you'd like, you can take a corner chopper. I like to open the wings and use it on the 1/2-inch setting and round the corners. It just gives it a nice finished look. Now I've gone ahead and trimmed off 2 12-inch pieces of ribbon. It's probably more ribbon than you need, but at least I have that ready to go. And the trick here is to attach the ribbon to the center of the left and right sides of the inside of your cover. So this paper has a texture. I've got the smooth side facing up, and I'm going to use my ruler to help me find the center of this paper. So if I bring the ruler to a 3.5-inch measurement on each end, that puts the 0 center of my ruler in the middle. And that way, if I want, I could mark it. That's an option. Or I can just simply apply my adhesive. I always check to make sure the grain of the ribbon is wanting to wrap itself around, and that way I know it's going to go around this way, so I want the grain to go that way. I can even, instead of marking, I can just use the lines on the ruler to center the ribbon, just like I centered the paper. And then we can repeat the same on the other side. Just bring the ruler to the center. Add some adhesive, check your grain direction of the ribbon, because the ribbon's going to want to turn one way or the other, and that'll be very clear once you start looking for it. So now I know that my ribbons are nicely centered on my cover. Next, I'm going to take this box, and since it's hard to put adhesive on the back of this, I'll put adhesive around the perimeter, leaving a little bit of a reveal. This is just so quick and easy. I love this project. You could just crank these out like nobody's business. And then I'm going to align the edge of the box with the edge, the right edge of the score line, the right score line, centered from top to bottom. And that will give me a nice margin on all the sides. Now for the left side, earlier we trimmed this printed paper to fit right into this space. The only thing we have left to do is determine which orientation we want the paper to be placed there. And then once again, we'll create our matching rounded corners. The corner chomper. We'll add some adhesive. So notice I just rounded 2 corners and add that to the plate, to that spot. See how quickly this is coming together. I absolutely love this. Okay, now we have another cover here. And this is going to be how I want it to be placed, right side up, so I can round the upper and lower right corners in this case. Before I attach it, I'm going to do a little decorating. So we trimmed this yellow piece earlier, and we also set aside this brown piece. Let me show you a couple of assembly tricks here. Taking my grid ruler, and I want to attach this about 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the yellow. So I'm going to line up the first set of cubes in my ruler with the border strip, and then I'm going to take my bookbinding glue, it's one of my favorite adhesives, and just run it along the edge of the ruler. Then I can take this strip that probably would have gone into the garbage as a scrap, and I'm going to place it just any old way along the ruler's edge where I have adhesive. Then I can take my scissors, trim away the ends. I know I'm going really fast, but when you do this for yourself, you'll just be able to follow the video at your own pace. Now I can put adhesive on the back of this strip, and because I tend to glue things down on a slant, I can I want to do this 1/4 of an inch from the edge, so I can do that. Rest this against the ruler's edge. I know it's level because it's straight on the line here. And then I can attach this to my project. And that's a nice start to decorating my box. Later on, I can use the plain side of this piece, and I actually rounded the corners of this just on the right edge as well. And I just stamped a couple things on there from the beautiful Let It Be stamp set right onto this plain side of the print, and that's what's going to create the front of my box. How cool is that? Okay, so next I'm going to make the cards. So for card 1, since I did trim this paper so that the fold would occur in cooperation with the grain, scoring is an option. It's not required. Simply fold it in half and you can burnish. And now you can see that for card 1, I'm going to add this panel, and then these 2 panels nest. I can do it like this. So I'll set that aside for a moment and then grab everything out of pocket B. So if you're using papers from your own stash, then substitute with tones of similar value. For example, this card base is darker in color, and I've compensated for that. So check this out. We're going to make a similar setup. We've got a vertical anchoring strip. We have some a nesting square, and then on the inside we have a liner, and we have something you can stamp a greeting on if you'd like. That's of course optional. I'll set that aside. Now take everything out of pocket C. You can see why this is so much easier to have it sorted in my organizer ahead of time. Fold your card base, and for this one we're going to make a horizontal card. So that we have a nesting panel, we have an anchoring strip here, we have this dark brown piece layered with a bright yellow. Guess what? Everything comes out of pocket D. Fold your card base in half. You're folding with the grain, so you have a nice pretty fold. Add your layer, add your anchoring strip, nest. You've got a nice card base happening here. Now if I go back to my completed project, you can see how I used the stamps. And I store my stamps in a hubless DVD case. It's just on a bookshelf that's designed for DVDs, and it works really, really well. It's all indexed, so you can see exactly what I'm looking for when I'm shopping for stamps to use on a project. And you can see I combined the word bee and joyful here, and added the bee on the left edge and some honeycomb, and inked the edges a little bit. Now on the inside we have a series of cards. Now our card kits do include ribbon, and so in fact this ribbon is included in the Let It Be card kit, as well as this more lemony yellow. And then I just use stamped images here to decorate both the outside and the inside of the card. So be the change you want to see in the world. You're the bee's knees. Love all these bee themed puns. And then for the other 2 cards, I literally stamped images right on top of the printed paper, sentiment, some of the clover, and then made a simple basic bow. I do have a Ribbon Basics video if you're interested in watching to learn how to make pretty bows like that and use ribbon in your projects. And then you can see how I carried through with some of the corner rounding on the inside, both the panel and then the stamped sentiment. Finally, here we have our last card, and there it is with the little greeting stamped inside. And because it's an ivory base, I could just stamp directly on that. Now our card kits include a lot more paper, obviously, so you could make another one if you'd like, and if you're not really a stamper, that's totally okay. Our card kits include pre-printed cut-apart sentiments that are designed to fit our projects. So these had to be retrofitted to accommodate my unique structure here. And again, I used the pre-printed cut-aparts to complete my sentiments, both on the outside and the inside, just making it very, very quick and easy. Check out this. I used goodies that came in the Let It Be card kit to finish these cards as well. Aren't they fun? Let's get ready to bumble. Now here's an example of what happens when you take the same exact quad card box instructions and use a different Club Scrap collection. My colleague Karen made this beautiful peony version from one of our other previous card kits. Check out the ribbon always included in the kit as well, and then it opens to reveal just some stunning cards. Karen also, rather than stamping, simply adapted the cut-aparts to create the artwork for her cards and got this done in just an hour or two while she was still answering phones and working here in the lobby. So isn't that amazing? What a great project. Our card kits come with envelopes, pre-printed cut-aparts, pre-printed papers, and then plain papers, ribbons, goodies, embellishments, all the like. And then I also provide the instructions to you to make a dozen or more greeting cards. We'll always make a minimum of a dozen cards. So this month, the official card kit formulas created 4 of these adorable impossible cards. We created 4 cards that have room for a gift card as well as a hidden message. And then we created this folio. So this was the inspiration for my workshop with you today, the folio and the 4 cards inside. And that's what got the inspiration ball rolling for this fun workshop. Again, I know I covered a lot of material in a short period of time. So remember, when you go back and watch the video again, you can work with me at your very own pace and even adjust your YouTube playback settings to a slower speed so that you can keep up without even having to push pause. If you want to make your quad card box with Club Scrap supplies, be sure to check out the Let It Be collection at clubscrap.com. And if you're interested in joining us at Club Scrap, we'd love to have you give it a try. It's risk-free. There's no minimum monthly requirement. It's my job to earn your loyalty. I hope you have a beautiful summer. Thanks for joining me.
Hello everybody, I'm Kim from Tall Mouse Creative Arts and welcome to July. July means we have brand new product and we've got some projects to show you also, which we're very excited about. And I'm kind of extra excited because what I'm going to show you in just a moment, we're going to start with something new, which you just have to have new. And let's see, you know, Jim's got his category of dies, which are Skinny Jim Slimline dies. So I was feeling a little left out. So we have my category, which are Tiny Kims, because you always have to have something small and cute, which is what these are. So this is going to be a batch of Tiny Kims, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. So let's come on over and take a look at these not so teeny tiny Kims, but Tiny Kims. And we're going to start with donuts, because who does not love a donut? So this one is a collection of donuts, and we've got a little coffee cup and a latte cup, however you want to do it. So I die cut these out, and then on this one, the donut, I gave it took my ink markers and gave it some color. I haven't added crystals yet, but I want to give it a little bit more shine. So we've got donuts and coffee right here. Our second one is a sewing group, which I just love how tall this beautiful mannequin is. Scissors, whatnot. We've got bobbins, we've got buttons, and a really cool sewing machine. And then we've got over here, we've got some kitchen appliances, because who doesn't need some kitchen appliances? We've got the little scale, we've got a blender for all those little teeny tiny smoothies you got going on. And then to beautify everybody, I cut this guy out all in just one color, so I kind of mixed them up how I cut them. But we've got all of our beautician tools, so got brushes, mirrors, all kinds of tools to make you beautiful. And then coming down here, we've got some Halloween candy and buckets. Now these I die cut, yes I did, but I cut them out and then I decided to color them with my alcohol markers. So I did all of these guys in a little different decor. And then keeping with the theme of coloring, we've got a latte coffee bean type of look. So these are lots of different styles. You could do a little frappuccino. Now this is a string of coffee beans, but if you did it in a lighter color brown, it could look like a twisted French bread. So again, I die cut these out and color them. And then back to die cutting, we're going to go for a calm cup of tea. You know, sometimes we have to have an afternoon cup of tea. And we've got our little honey pot right there too. So this is our tea grouping. And then who doesn't love chocolate? I don't know who doesn't love chocolate, but we had to have our chocolate also. So I took my silver and made a really cool wrapping out of that. And we got a bite out of the chocolate right there. And then moving on, we've got some kitchen utensils. I use that same silver sheen type of paper in order to look like your cheese grater is actually a cheese grater. So lots of different utensils right there. And then I just dig this one. For all you knitters, we have a sweater knitted, and then it's all in the shape of little hearts right there. So that's our little Tiny Kim knitted sweater in hearts. And then all of you garden lovers, we've got tiny little gloves and boots and all kinds of goodies right there. Wheelbarrow, excuse me. So that is our brand new Tiny Kim collection, and it's in under die cuts, under Tiny Kim, so go ahead and search those. And then this I've shown you guys before, but it is now back in stock, and it is a little bit larger if you notice. So this is a grouping of 4. Original design, made in love, you got circle and you got a banner right there too. That's all ready to go. So you want to sign the back of your cards or your project with something that says handmade original. So we thought you should probably do that for the season as well. So we have 2 new bunches right here. So this one is a whole collection. We've got heart, balloon, we've got a birthday cake, we've got a flower, cloud. So this is one collection right here. And then back up just a minute. I'm going to show you guys how we just finished off your card. It's always nice to have a little signature piece on the back of your card that relates to the holiday. So these all say handmade. It's all one type of font to finish off your project and give it a little handmade kiss on the back of it. So that is one collection. The second collection is a more seasonal, fall seasonal. We have a sun, we have a fall leaf, pumpkin, snowflakes, snowman, and a Santa hat right there. So 3 collections to sign off your cards, however you'd like to do that. And then speaking of kind of small, this is the semi-skinny gym collection. Just wanted to show you guys, remind you, some of them were out of stock, but we are fully back in stock now. I know everybody likes that really fun honeycomb one, which is really cool. Picket fence, we've got circles, we've got the Moroccan lattice, we've got decorative lattice, we definitely have our arrows. And then the stars, I just wanted to point this one out. Oh, and the hearts too. Just wanted to point this guy out in particular. So for some of my 4th of July cards, what I did make is they seem to fit perfectly on certain types of cards. You just do a little trimming. But if you notice, I did a die cut and I applied this to our clear window plastic. So that is what a piece of the clear window plastic, I know it's kind of hard to see right there. There it is in this little corner. But you can do something and have that be your cover and then put your sentiment right here so it can be seen through your card. Open that guy up. So remember the semi-skinnies, those guys are really fun to be working with. And then speaking of acetate, we're going to show you another card with acetate, window plastic. They're pretty much the same thing. Now, this wreath is back in stock. Very popular wreath. It's such a basic one. You can use green. Cut it out with green, but think about fall, think about spring. You can use it for almost every single season. And I wanted to show you something we did. This is my sample, my cheat sheet before I go to the sample. So the pink represents the negative space. I cut out a piece. The blue represents the piece that actually pops out from doing the particular wreath. But remember, you can use both the negative and the pop-out piece. So in order to do that, I wanted to show you guys what I did over here, as well as using the embossing plastic. So this is a Graphic 45 fairy paper. And if you notice, I did the negative space. I cut that out raw right there. I cut out the wreath. Show that to you guys a little bit closer. Took the wreath die, cut it out in pink, which was actually right there. Pop that in there so you have a completely different look with your negative and your positive pop-out piece that you're using. That little fairy is pointing to the dream, and then that is the plastic right there. So you open that guy up, you can see the plastic, or I'm not sure if you can see the plastic right there, and then you can finish embellishing your card right there. But just reminding you guys how, or showing you different ways to use the negative space, as well as, well, the wreath die is just really cool. And then different ways to be using your window plastic, which, speaking of, we have right here. So we've got 3 different types on sizes, excuse me, on the website. Not types, they're all the same. Panoramic, which is great for shaker cards, which we're going to show you guys in a little bit. We've got 8.5 by 11 sheets, and then we've got, I believe it's 4.5 by 5.25 or 5.5 sheets. So 3 different sizes to answer all your guys' questions. In acetate. Okay, moving on. I know it's July, but we got to get ready for the fall season, because as card makers and scrapbookers, we always are working ahead, or we're working a couple months behind. So, you know, we're just working on all kinds of projects. Okay, brand new die, and I'm going to show it to you in a couple of different ways because it's really fun. 𝐒𝐿𝐴, big, bold brush font, which I just love. Pops out really easily. You don't have to glue anything together. It's just one big set of little phrase, 𝐒𝐿𝐴. And then I picked 3 different dies that I kind of feel like the Halloween fall season. So this is our torn die. It's a set of 4. This is the zigzag die, and that is a set of 5. And then this would be our ripped die. So I feel like all 3 of them kind of represent the Halloween fall spirit. So this one is big 𝐒𝐿𝐴 across the middle of the card, but this also can fit on a smaller size card as well. And then you could do horizontal. So 𝐒𝐿𝐴, this is showing the torn look. And then I've got this guy right over here. I thought the witches needed that zigzag look. So I did a green 𝐒𝐿𝐴. So that would be the zigzag look. And then over here, I originally thought, now I did not glue this down because I want to show you the back side. I liked the ghost, so I took that torn one because it really, I thought, looked like the edge of the ghost. However, when I cut that out, the way I cut it, which was not intended, but it turned out that the back side of that paper, that spider, was really cool. So that shows up really good too. That is our torn edge. So now ripped edge. So I'm a little torn on which side to do it on because they both look good, but I wanted to show you. You could do a big bright yellow across there. You could do yellow across there, or you could do black or a little charcoaly. So either one. So 3 different slimline dies, 𝐒𝐿𝐴. We also have a fun picket fence, which is on the semi-skinny side. We've got a brand new leaf, which has got a little bit of an open air, so that is really fun. And then moving into Christmas, I know, we're moving you guys along. We've got a couple of them to show you. Sending Christmas Joy. Now, I'm showing you, it's kind of like how I cut out the wreath, but every letter does pop out as well. So you could apply it like that, or you could apply it like this. Merry and Bright. And both of these, I can't wait. I'm going to make myself a shaker card where that is going to be the outside of it and all the good little shakers are going to be on the inside. And then if you just want a calm, stickish font that just says Merry, you've got Merry right there, which would always be fun to kind of layer with a little simple leaf as well to keep it simple. All right, more product. I know, we're just going crazy here. 2 new paper pads. Memory Place, Adventure Awaits. It's kind of a bold vintage color. It's got hot air balloons, which we're going to show you a card we made with that in just a few minutes. This is really fun paper. I just dig it. And then our second one is Memory Place as well, and this is Hello. So this is soft blues and browns. It's just kind of a friendly, fun font to take a look at. And I'm going to turn that over because you got Hello Friend, you have Shine On, little creature right there. They're just friendly, soft colors. I feel like later summer kind of a look. So 2 new brand new paper pads, and then storage. We need to talk about storage because we got new ones in stock. We still have our existing ones, but these 2 now come with Velcro to hold it. 2 sizes, multiple packs. This is 5 by 7. That's a skinny, semi-skinny gym in there. And then we also have a 7 by 9.5, which pops open, holds your skinny gym slimline dies or multiple dies, whatever you like. So these guys are both available as well in multi-packs, and it's got the Velcro, which is really cool. All right, you guys are going to take a look at this while we flip our table for more goodies. Okay, our table is flipped and we are ready to jump into some mermazing products. So we've got a couple new products to show you, so come on over. The Mermazing should have given it away. We have our Mermaid Skinny Gym Slimline die. It does have scales on it, but of course we're going to turn it into a mermaid. So this is a nice, fun scale Skinny Jim Slimline Die mermaid. We've got a couple of samples and a couple of techniques to show you also. So this guy is black on really shiny paper. This one I colored up and then cut it out and put it on black paper so that would really pop like a mermaid. This one I did the complete opposite. I colored the paper really crazy colors with all my inks and brushes I'm going to show you, cut it out in black. And then this one we turned into a panoramic large format shaker card. So same thing, I colored the entire piece and then ran it through the die cut machine and cut it out. And then you'll notice I did it with foam right there, so it's nice thick foam. And then we turned it into a large format panoramic card, so just showing you like that with our clear plastic, clear window plastic, and then large shaker right there. Now, how did I get all this color? I'm going to pop that guy off to the side. I'm going to show you guys a technique, well, two of them. So this is my cardstock. I did take my inks, showing you two different ways to color up. And you can take your ink pad, turn it upside down, and blotch it on there, which you can see. You can also see the lines, which doesn't really matter if you're going to cut it out on something. But if you're not going to cut it out, you might not want to do that. But you want to take your blending brushes. This is just one. We've got two of them, and they're both on sale right now. These are the pink set, and then we've got a set of 5 also. So you would dip it into your ink and then slowly go in rotating motions, or kind of like a toothbrush style brushing, add your colors in different spots, and then that is ready to die cut out or do whatever you'd like with. So that is showing it die cut, and then this guy is showing it using actually the whole backing of the layering. So brushes come in definite handy. Now, if you don't want to use it as a slimline, you can certainly cut it up, which I took that same technique, colored my paper and cut it out, and then trim it to whatever angle you would like. So I turned this into a regular size card. I glued down most of it, left a little bit of it not adhered down, so I could make that into a tiny little pocket right there. So you can use it any way you want. And then we've got our panoramic embossing window plastic as well as the other sizes. Okay, the second die, we're going to move up here. Sorry guys, I need to check my time real quick. We're going to move up here and we are going to take a look at the tray die. So this one is this nested set of 4. You've got little pieces that come in as a tray. Showing right here, I just used that particular paper, the hot air balloon, and then I turned it into a vertical hinge. I've shown you guys that a couple of times. Looking at this one, I did the tray also, but that you can see the back side of the paper, which you can go to our Facebook page and take a look at how we did that. Did that card as well with the back side, opening that up with the tray so you can see both sides of the paper right here. That's cut out in a tray. And then coming down right here, I took the 2 middle pieces because you can do a title strip really nice. I didn't finish the page, but laying it out like this, you know, sometimes your paper is almost already done for you. You just want to add an embellishment and a couple of pictures and whatnot. Okay, so we're going to move on over. I'm going to put you on pause real quick. Okay, in looking at this card, how did I show the back side of the paper right there? I'm going to show it to you right here also. We used it with the birthday card. You overshoot your paper, whatever size, about 1/4 inch to create that lip. Score and fold and then glue that paper on. And then obviously you want to finish it off with your handmade piece too. Now to see these types of cards in more detail, you want to head on over to our Facebook page. We show how to do this in a lot slower motion than right now. Okay, moving on, we got to go on to one more card before we show you our specials. So this is a whole different style of card, which is a pop-up card versus preserving, seeing both sides of the paper. So we've got this particular card, and then of course we finished it off on the back, and then voila, you're going to open that guy up. Same over here, we finished it over there, handmade. You pop that up, be where you want to be, and voila, we've got more pop-ups going on. Coming over here, we have another summary pop-up card, and then I did the tray die on our brand new dies. We've got our sun right there, and then let's take a look at what this guy's going to do. This one's going to pop up as well. We've got a lot more little wiggles going on. So how did we do this card? I'm going to pop these off to the side. I've got everything almost ready to go. You're overshooting your card again, just like we talked about. 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, depending upon what kind of lip you want. You want to do double-sided tape in the middle right here. And if you want to see this in slower motion, again, head on over to our Facebook page because I've got this in much slower motion, how to do both cards. But I peeled my tape off already. I used my acetate pieces and I deactivated the sticker with my static thing. I cut them appropriately so I know where they're going to pop up. So we're going to glue that last guy down together right there. These are all ready to go. We're just going to seal that up like this, and you guys are going to have yourself a wonderful pop-up card. Finished it with the handmade, and then you've got a nice summer pop-up card or anything else you want to do. Nice and happy. Okay, what is our special? You guys get a really good deal. All right, 30% off the entire website. We are celebrating July off regularly priced product. You do need to use the code July 21st, July 21. Skinny Jim Slimline Dies. All of them, even the brand new ones you just saw, $12. Our website, free shipping over $59. Sale is valid until July 29th. Go get them, you guys. And then remember, head on over to our Facebook page so you can see how to make the cards in detail, as well as our weekly Woo, What's Up Wednesday. See you next time.
Welcome back, everybody, and we started out with some great projects,
Absolutely.
products, and of course specials. And Riley and Company,
Oh, so cute.
I know, and the I loved, you know, they always just have new things. So she showed about the Advent box or the
Yeah,
Christmas
isn't that
box.
beautiful?
How awesome is that? The Halloween box. The Christmas in July kit that, you know, we all need. I mean, because seriously, it's almost August and Christmas is right around the corner.
So excited.
So we need to get busy with that. And as always, the great funny bones, the Christmas funny bones. The Grinch kit, that's a must-have.
He was the whole time like, I need that. I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that.
I think that would be so cool to make up some of those, and you know, when you go through your drive-thrus and stuff, give one of those out to somebody. Wouldn't that be a cute little gift?
My Starbucks barista.
Yes, except for the one that messed her drink up today.
Yeah, they made it wrong. It's okay. That's why I'm a little
And ta-da! The Riley and Company, ta-da! Was the superheroes. How cute,
wasn't that the dress up that they're going to be new? I guess she was talking about new designers, and these designers have, you know, there's always like a different flair.
Yes.
And they have this whole new superheroes dress up.
Yes.
Riley's, and I cannot wait to see that one that she would not show us.
Yes. Yes.
I was like, don't be big, show us, but
Tanya
it's so cute.
Text us a picture.
We should have some insider knowledge.
That's right.
No, but I love Harley Quinn. She's my favorite.
Yes.
Yeah, and so, I have to have that. I have to have that. But yeah, it was so cute. That Grinch kit was just adorable.
Yeah, that was just amazing, I thought.
Right. So the Riley and Company show special is free shipping on any domestic order over $25, and you're going to get a free Grinch topper kit with any order over $100, and the offer will expire on July 31st.
Yes, and the Grinch kit was $15, and I mean, we were talking, I mean, that's the stamps that you get with it.
Exactly.
So and which you can use over and over. So
exactly.
So thank you, Miss Tanya, and can't wait for those superheroes for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you for the gifts too. And then we had Trisha, and I do want to, before we go any further, Trisha and her husband just had an anniversary, so happy anniversary to you. I saw that. Yes. And so the Let It Be collection that she made, that adorable box out of, you know, and you know, I like her suggestions on, watch it now and then go back. You can
Right.
watch it on YouTube and get your suggestions. And one of my favorite tips that she showed this week again is how to cut against the grain of the paper. So when you do the fold, it's a fold and not a crinkle. So
That's a great tip.
just thought that was great. And having that little card box, what a nice gift wouldn't that be for somebody too?
For every single thing you could think of.
Yeah.
Like holiday or birthday or
anything.
Yeah.
And her card, her card kits. It was kind of funny because I noticed when she was doing her project, she had paper left, which isn't a norm for Club Scrap. It was so creative.
It was like a piece that big, though.
But they just have so many great card kits and everything, so you'll want to check them out for sure.
Also, the way that she instructs is so, I don't know if you, a lot of times I'll shy away from things that have too many cuts or too many measurements and stuff. I'm like, I'm good. But like the way that she instructed it, it really it felt feasible. Like I could totally do it.
Yes.
And I really do want this kit. I think it's like amazing. It was beautiful. I love the theme, like be joyful. Like that's just a great theme to have for every occasion. For it's just a really cool. I liked it.
Yeah, and I like too when she gets her cuts of her paper done first, and then all the cuttings done. And those Fiskars cutters, those are a good cutter, the guillotine type.
Yes, and I love the tip that she had. You really do need an organizer like that.
Yes.
And it showed like then. The paper's already there for the 4 cards that fit right in the box. This is genius.
Yes.
Genius. Okay, so Club Scrap's show special is quad card box. Okay, that's what we were working on. That was so rad. Okay, so you're going to get a free gift with a new membership and free shipping on orders over $50 using the coupon code QUAD, which is QUAD, and that will expire on July 26th. So very good.
Very good. So thank you, Miss Tricia, and once again, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
So, very lucky. That gentleman's very lucky to have that special girl. I'll tell you.
Yes.
So then we have Kim at Tall Mouse, and dies. I think of them with dies and everything, but the tiny Kim dies. I mean, how
adorable?
cute are those? And that's something that there's always new ones. And,
yes.
I think she wanted to catch up with Skinny Jim.
That's what she was saying. She felt left out in the comments. But I can see that these little dies are so needed. I love to make embellishments. In my brain it was already tick 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 ticking because I think those are so cute to add like layers to your embellishments or anything. I'm thinking you could be making like Christmas ornaments, like if you have a Christmas tree in the kitchen, the cute like pot holders. You could be making like little ornaments for your tree
it's almost like it's themed ornaments for the little trees. Or you could add those, be cute to hang. You could make an ornament and hang those on your little knobs too in your kitchen.
Right.
So, very cute.
Or a wreath or cards, of course.
Yes.
Scrapbook pages. Just adorable.
Exactly. And they have the semi-skinny gems, which fit the smaller cards, and you can always trim the other ones down too. So,
right.
But they make those semi-skinnies. How convenient is that? The acetate sheets that they have,
Wasn't that neat?
Putting that over and
I believe they had them for the slimline size. So that's really cool. To make a shaker card.
Exactly.
Slimline.
Like
I haven't done that yet, but I want to.
Yes.
So that was good.
And then they had the Boo to You die, and then she had those to make the Halloween or the fall cards, and then they had the dies. They had the torn die, the zigzag die, and the rip die, which went along with that. If you have she used the ghost, which was the zigzag, kind of like the bottom, or excuse me, I think that was the ripped one. The witch, she had witch paper, and then there was one where she couldn't decide on the using the spider as well. So a lot of choices, for there. So
what I loved too, Dave, was that they have now the storage for your dyes.
Yes.
For the mini and also the regular slimline, and I really do need that with the Velcro on there.
I know.
That's really neat.
I do, and because I still have mine in like packages.
Me too.
And because I wanted to keep them, in something. But
right, I still do too. But
yes.
I thought that was a great storage solution.
Exactly.
So let's see. Thank you to Kim and Jim, and the Tall Mouse Show special is 30% off the website.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay, and then Skinny Jim Slimline Dyes are $12 using the coupon code July21. Free shipping on orders over $59, and this will be valid until July 29th. So that's
very
great.
good, very good. So thank you, Miss Kim and Mr. Jim operating that camera. So,
yes.
In our next segment, we do have an announcement. Kitten Clowder, who's coming up, they have their video, but they won't be live to answer your questions because they are from Australia, and it's very early there.
It's 3 a.m. there. So she said that when she does wake up and gets, she will, if you leave a comment, she'll get back to you on the comments, but it'll just take a little minute.
Yeah,
so if you have a question or whatever, leave it there, and she will reply when the time. So
exactly, it'll be great. A new company from Australia.
I love Australia.
It'll be so interesting. Sometimes there's different types of products and things.
I know. I'm excited to see.
So.
I can't wait to say, put the shrimp on the barbie.
I don't know what that means.
I remember Crocodile Dundee.
Oh yes, I did not like that movie, but
80s. Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, I love that movie.
But no, it's good. It's always nice to have new companies.
Yeah,
Once again, here at our at home, having some new companies.
She's taught like every single one of my friends how to Copic color. So.
Oh wow! There you go. So
I need to take a class.
There you go. Awesome. So everybody, we'll be back and enjoy our next segment of presentations.
Hi everyone, it's Elise from Kitten Clowder Colouring Classes and welcome to our Colouring Tip Tuesdays, short videos to answer popular questions you've been asking about your colouring. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to do a basic blend with your pencils. I've had a lot of people ask how to get that smooth blend lately if they haven't done much pencil colouring before, so I wanted to show you how easy it is to get that control and vibrancy. Now you'll find the color blends that I'm going to be using here today down in the description of the video. And this blend as well is also our blend of the week in our Color Focus series. So if you haven't seen yet, we've just started Color Focus Fridays over in our Kitten Clowder Facebook group, and I'll be posting a new color every week. So this is actually week 1's color blend in our Magenta series. Now before we get started on our basic blend, it's important to think about light source. So light source is anything that makes light in our scenes. We need to have it there in order for our object to be seen. It's what determines the light and shade of an object. So we get into this a lot more in our coloring classes, but essentially our blends incorporate lighter colors to show the highlights or the parts of the object where the light is hitting first, so our lightest and brightest parts. Opposite to that are our shadows. So we come down here with the darker colors. Now the shadows are where the light hit last, and that's why it's a lot darker. Now in between highlight and shadow, you have midtone. Now midtone is the true color of an object, and it's neither affected by light or shade. So in our Color Focus series, magenta was the color this week. So this is the color in the middle here as my midtone, and then you'll see we've got the lighter and darker color to make the overall blend. So we don't just use one color, we use those multiple colors to really be able to build up the depth in the blend and to be able to showcase our light source as well. In a more basic term, you don't need to use as many colors as I am using here today. You may have seen tutorials before where they just use black and white to make the darker or lighter value. But I'm just showing you how I create my color blends here today for the most vibrancy and depth. In a later video, we'll go through how to select colors to create color blends as well. Now the paper I'm using here today is Mutante by Canson. I'll pop that link and information down below for you in the video description, but it does have a tooth on it to help capture my pigment and to build up the color smoothly. And you're welcome to use any paper here just to practice this blending step. But I will be going through papers in our next coloring tips video for you. So let's just work on that basic blend here today. So I'm going to start with my darkest color in the blend, and that's my pomegranate. And all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start by coming around my outer edge, and then I'm just going to very lightly start to fill in the area. Now, depending on the size and shape of the object you color will depend on your stroke. You can see I'm doing like a little flicking motion here, but even a little circling motion is okay as well. It'll just take you a little bit longer to build up the color. What is important though is that you notice that my coloring is really soft and light, and you can see those little white speckles showing through. That's the tooth of the paper. I'm not trying to flatten it down at this stage. It's very important that we keep these white speckles because that's what's going to allow me to build up the color. White speckles mean your paper can still hold more pigment. That's a good thing. Let's keep going. Once I've added this down, my next color is Processed Red, and I'm coming back over this previous color here, making sure that I still keep a really nice soft pressure. So as I'm doing the coloring, you can see because I've got a light pressure, there are no lines between the colors. So what we want to avoid is this. See, if I color like this, what's going to happen is it's going to be very hard to blend that out. I'll come over that with the next color in the blend, and that line stays there. So we want to try and make sure that we always have that soft pressure. If, however, you do this and you have that hard line, what you can do is just really soften that pressure up and come over it really lightly. I call this fuzzying up the edge because you can see we're taking away that sharpness and fading that edge out. And it just requires going over it a few times until we can get that fade. So essentially, that's what we're trying to do in this main part here. I'm just getting that really nice soft fade happening. And I'm not using any extra pressure. Now, it is very normal when people start coloring that they use too much pressure or even too light of pressure while you're getting comfortable with your pencil control. If your pressure is too light, it'll look super soft. And you may find as well if you're using a very smooth paper, it's going to look a lot softer than I'm using here too. That just means that you're going to need to do a few extra layers than I'm doing here today to get it all smooth. If you've got the hard lines because you're pressing too hard, try holding the pencil further back. This is going to stop you from placing that pressure on the pencil. Alright, next color is pink. Now this is a slightly different tone. I'm coming straight over the previous and extending further out. This is making sure that my color doesn't end up too blue based with the other previous colors in the blend. So I am making sure that I come back over the previous colors because I'm not just using this color to get lighter, but I'm using it for the tone of color as well. Don't worry if that sounds a little bit complicated. In the coming weeks, we'll do some videos on what color tone is, again, how to select our blends and everything like that, so it does make a little bit more sense for you. In the meantime though, I've already made some color blends for you that you can use over on our website under the color blends tab. So that way you don't have to worry about making your own, you can see some right there that are available. Now as I'm blending out, notice I'm getting really soft toward that highlight point. So imagine my light is hitting this top point, so I've got highlight and shadow opposite. So to really make that pop and look a lot softer, I've got my white pencil here. And what I'm going to do is just start in that white area, and I'm just blending back and over where that previous color has ended. And that's just softening it down so the transition between the colors is nice and smooth. I'm not bringing it the whole way back to my shadow area though. If I do that, I'm going to lose that depth back here. So notice here now you can clearly see the difference between highlight and shadow, but we have all of that little tooth showing through and the color isn't very vibrant yet. So what we want to do is we want to come back and literally just repeat everything again. By repeating it again, I'm going to be filling in that tooth, and the paper itself is going to be holding more colored pigment, meaning that my colors are going to be more vibrant and more intense. So I grab my pomegranate again, and I'm just starting in my shadow area, and I'm literally just doing the same thing. Now, I'm not adding any extra pressure though. The way that I'm going to get that tooth flat is by actually doing smaller strokes. And this is where we start to introduce more of that circular motion. So I'm doing that circular shape here now to really soften down the tooth and fill it all in. But by keeping my pressure nice and soft, it makes sure that I avoid any hard lines. If you have hard lines, remember, hold it really, really lightly, fuzzy up the edge so it's nice and soft as the color ends and you're fading it out. Now, a lot of people do use solvents with their pencils. Now, this does come down to personal preference. The solvents weren't actually made to be used with your standard pencil coloring. The way that artists tend to use these to begin with was to actually cover larger areas quicker. So instead of doing all this little blending like we're doing now, they can do a rough amount of color and then they get the solvent and they bring it over the top. And what that does is it breaks down this pigment that we've added, so it's almost like a paint-like surface. So you're able to spread it quite easily and quickly over the page. Now the problem with that is that we lose a bit of the color vibrancy and we lose the control. This is process red, repeating that technique. So when you lose that control, it's not giving you as much creative freedom. You're not able to get as those finer lines or that finer detail that you may see some other people doing. Especially if you're a marker user as well, this simulates a similar effect. So if you've got the two mediums, probably not getting a lot out of using your pencils with your solvents. You don't really want to have different products doing the same thing. So you really want to get the most out of your materials or mediums so you can get different looks and effects. So again, you're welcome to use your solvents. It would be a very similar technique that we're doing here, but instead of doing this final coat, you would come through and use your solvent. But be prepared that you will lose a little bit of the vibrancy and control in your projects, especially when we start getting more detailed, as opposed to just using the pencils themselves on a good drawing paper like we're doing here today. My next color is my pink. And I'm coming back over that previous color and again extending further out. Now, how much or how little of each color you use is going to determine how light or dark your blend ends up being. This is actually called the value of the color blend, and we will spend some time again in a later video going through this. But have an experiment doing a little bit of a blend when you really increase the amount of that darker color you use, bring it quite far over, or really increase the amount of the lighter color used, and see how this affects the color blend. So if yours looks a little different than mine, that could be a clear hint why. You may just have used a different amount of the colors than I've used here today. That doesn't mean anything is wrong, just means that it's a little different and you're still learning about that application of color. Remember that mistakes in your coloring are just ways for you to actually learn more, so never be afraid to make a mistake and never be frustrated when you do. Think about the lessons that you're taking away and learning from them, and take away that negative emotional frustration. If you remind yourself that coloring is about the lessons, then you're going to progress a lot quicker and further and be more motivated and enjoy it a lot more. Your white pencil in the second round is going to do a lot more for you now. So we start in this white, bring it down, and you can see I'm extending it just over where this previous color has ended, maybe a little bit further back. Again, it's a small soft circle. I'm not using a lot of pressure because the white should essentially fade into the pink there. You can see I'm not bringing it the whole way either. It's just so we can get that nice smooth highlight. Now you may find that you need another round of the blend. Absolutely okay. Please do go through and repeat as needed. One more thing you can do as well, if you still have a lot of tooth left and you want to speed up the process, is you can use your colorless blender pencil. Now the colorless blender comes in all different varieties, so try and get the one that your brand of pencil makes, because it's the same core of the pencil but without the colored pigment. So the Prismacolor colorless blender being a wax-based core. So you have to remember that this is not adding any color to the page. It's basically pushing around what you've already laid down. So it can help you to flatten the tooth, but you need to have enough pigment on the page to actually push to get that smooth blend. So if I've done this and it's really, really soft and light, and I can show you by just doing a little scribble here, if I just come through and all my colors are about like this dark, As soon as I add my blender, can you see how scratchy that is? And it feels and sounds a little bit icky, and it's not really getting it smooth. It looks scratchy on the page. That's because I didn't have a good enough application of color down underneath. This here is really quite strong. It's the level of color I would expect to have at the end of the blend, but I've got just a few like little speckles showing through. So if I come in now with the blender, and I want to make sure I use the same little circular stroke with not any pressure, just keeping it soft. Now what it's going to do is it's just going to push what's already there down into the surface of the page to finish it up. Now this step is optional. A lot of the times you don't need to use it, especially if you're a stamp colorist and we color such small images. So just doing that basic blending method that I showed you before will often just be enough, but this can help just finish off some of your blends nicely. Can also be used for texture effects, and we do use this a lot in our classes to help with things like timbers, where we really want a nice rich texture happening on the page. And you can see that's my basic blend all finished up. We're showing our light source, so we've got a nice highlight, midtone and shadow, so we can start creating depth on our objects. I hope you've enjoyed this quick lesson on how to do your basic blending with your pencils. You can try this technique on any image at all and with any color blend as well. Remember, coloring takes time and practice to learn, so your results may not be instantly the same as mine. If you do have questions or would like some extra tips, please feel free to reach out and ask anytime. I'd be more than happy to help. If you have any questions that you'd like to see answered in our coloring tip videos, please feel free to pop me a message. You can also find more answers to popular questions over on our website at kittenclowder.com via the coloring FAQs in the menu bar. And you'll also find free coloring classes on our homepage. Happy coloring and see you next time.
Hi everybody, Debbie from Stamp On It. This is a moon dust glitter product presentation. I'm going to take about 20 minutes just to go over this product line. Our moon dust glitter is a microfine glitter. Comes in 3 colors: clear, gold, and silver. I am not going to focus on the gold and the silver. I am going to focus on our clear, which has a number of uses. So I'm going to show you some samples, and I'm going to do a couple of just quick demos. So first of all, one of the ways to use our, I'm going to move these out of the way here, to use our moon dust glitter is to create a surface to add color to. So I am going to take and cut a piece of our double-sided adhesive. Comes in a full sheet, has a grid on the back for easy cutting. And I am just going to cut a piece here. And I am going to use an outline sticker this time. I don't have to use an outline sticker to do color. I can use a stamped image too, but for this I'm going to show you, a lot of us are sticker crazy. So I'm going to show you how to do this technique with an outline sticker. And I'm just going to use one of our mandala stickers, but you could certainly use any sticker that, you know, it's an outline, and go from there and color it. So first of all, what we're going to do is we are going to take the sheet. I peeled off one of the sides, the carriers, and I'm going to do what I call a bath. All right. And that is to cover the sticky part completely with moon dust. I'm just using a coffee filter. Coffee filters are great. They do not have static or make static. So you can just apply the glitter and let the excess fall back in. And could just blot it in there too, but I'm going to do it this way. All right. So I've got the whole thing covered. Now what I'm going to do is just to make sure that there's
going to be no spaces that are uncovered. Just taking and burnishing it with my fingers. All right. And then I'm going to take my anti-static brush and I'm going to brush off any excess or loose glitter. We don't need the loose glitter, so we're just taking it off. All right. Set that aside. Now I can take my outline sticker, and as I said, I'm going to use a mandala. These look very delicate, but they are incredibly strong and resilient. And I am going to apply it to the glitter surface. Now you want to burnish it down good. And again, I just do the finger burnishing. Just kind of go in all directions, making sure it's making good contact. And again, I'm going to do this just quickly off camera onto my scrap paper. Just brush off my loose glitter should any of that burnishing loosen up the glitter. Now we have our sticker applied to the glittered surface. And I wasn't careful about putting the sticker in the middle because I'm probably going to frame this using one of our overlays. But if you want, you can trim it, cut around this image, things like that when you're done. All right, so now I can take any markers. I am going to use Tombow, sorry. You can use Copics. They are great on this. If you're going to use Copics, you would use a Copic blender. If you're using a Tombow or a water-based marker, use a comparable blender. I'm going to use a Tombow blender. You could also use a Dove blender. But you can use most any markers of your choice on this. Especially if you want to blend, you don't want them to be permanent, like a Sharpie. If you're just going to be coloring without blending, you can even use a Sharpie. So I'm going to blend. Now you're going to see how easily this is to pull that color to the outer edges and other areas of that area of the sticker, that design. Notice how easily that blends out. If you get too much color, take your blender, clean it out on your scrap paper. And just pull that color. You can do as much blending or as little as you like. Now remember, I'm the owner, not the designer. So don't fault me if I miss a spot or doesn't look quite right, but it is very super easy to do. And this is so fun to color and blend with these stickers. It is incredibly fun. Now I could come back in if I wanted to and add a little bit more color. I can add the same color, or I could come in and perhaps add a little different shade. I'm not sure if this will be too light, but I could add a little shade. It's a little too light to see it. So, but you can add a second color, a third color, and blend them out or into each other however you like, okay? And I'm not going to go any further with this. You can see how easily this is to do. It moves very easily. All right, that is adding color to the glittered surface, smooth, absolutely super smooth, and a sticker is applied to it. All right, we're going to set that aside. Here I want to show you quickly a sample. This is on cream cardstock. We applied the double-sided adhesive directly to the cream cardstock, pulled off the other carrier, and then did the same coloring technique. Here's a very soft, and on cream cardstock, it gives it a more of an antique look. Beautiful. Hopefully you can see that. All right. So that is adding the color directly to the glitter with using the sticker as your design. All right. Next, we're going to go into I'm going to show you some samples here of using the glitter just to embellish. All right. This is a sticker on vellum, and we used actually just a quickie glue pen in the eagle. And it's very easy to stay in the lines again because the sticker keeps you in the lines. And then we added the glitter to the surface and let it dry. Here is, and hopefully you can see this, using it just very lightly, again with a quickie glue pen on the stamped image. This is again on vellum. Here it is on cardstock, using it on cardstock. These are die cuts of one of our dies. And we just added a little bit, and I believe on this one, I used crystal lacquer, or Sharon did. Crystal lacquer is a great adhesive because it comes out dimensional, so it gives it some dimension and it holds that glitter. If you're not looking for dimension and you just want a very soft look, you can use the 𝐒𝐒𝐭𝐡 glue pen. It just depends on what surface you're applying it to as far as what adhesive you use. All right. Okay. Here is, again, using it on die cuts around the edge of the leaf. And we did use the crystal lacquer. The crystal lacquer comes with a detail tip, but also we sell the extra detail tips. These are really fine tips, and it comes out pencil fine, just like a pinpoint fine. So you can add that glitter to those edges. Here is a really beautiful sample of using it with our vintage vellums. These are color printed vellums that we sell, and we used it just to highlight certain areas of that vintage vellum. It's beautiful on the dragonfly wings here. Hopefully you can see that. Hold that up a little bit, tip it. That's using the moon dust. And the moon dust is great for this because it's not an in-your-face glitter. It's a very soft shimmer. So it's just wonderful using it as a highlighting embellishment. All right, the next way I want to just show you is using it with our double-sided or double embossed stickers. We have a line of stickers on our website. It's called double embossed. And a double embossed sticker, I'm going to grab my sheet here of butterflies. Now this has been used already, so bear with me. Double embossed means it is a outline sticker, has a transparent backing, so you can't put your finger through these holes. It's solid. But what's really cool is you can color this with a marker, but a really cool thing to do is to take our moon dust glitter and add it to the back side of these stickers, the sticky side, and you can just really give this a bath in the moon dust, and then burnish it just like we did before. Burnish it, and let's set this aside before I spill it. Then take your anti-static brush again, and I'm going to do this off camera. I'm going to brush this off just to get rid of any loose glitters. Brush off my fingers too. I'm telling you, these anti-static brushes are the bomb. Not expensive either. Get a couple of them. We always put a pretty glitter band around ours, so when we teach classes, we know they're going to come back to us. But now I have that glitter on the back side of this. So now I can come in again, and I'm just going to use that same color and I can look through and see the design of the sticker, and I can add some color, and then I can take my blender, and remember, if you're changing colors, clean out your blender, and I can pull that color out and bring it out to the wingtips. And you don't have to be real careful, because when you turn it over, you can see, hopefully you can see that, how beautiful that is on the back side. Let's find one here that doesn't have writing on it, or here's a clear sheet. Can you see that? Hopefully you can. But notice how that's blended out. And now just because it's messy on this side doesn't matter, because when I turn it over, the lines are in front, the outline of the sticker's in front. So that's another way to use it with our double embossed stickers. And I've just got a couple samples here to show. We have more on our website too. This is with a couple of our butterflies. Here's with our Christmas candle. This was one of our projects of MMTE earlier in the year. Might have been just before Christmas, I believe we did this one, but we put the glitter on the back side. The moon dust. All right, another way is using it with our black print acetates. We have a line of acetates on our website that are black print. They're just black designs, everything from Christmas to summer to babies to you name it. There's hundreds of them on there. Here's just a few that I pulled to show you. And what we're going to do, and I'm going to just do a quick demo on this, is we're going to add the glitter to the back side of the acetate, and then we are going to color like we did with the sticker here, but we'll be on the back side of the acetate. All right, so let's just shove these up here. Keep them in your view a little bit. So we're going to take, and I'm going to just work with this one. And I'm going to, again, pull off one side. And it doesn't really matter. One side is a heavier cardstock on our double-sided adhesive. I'm going to pull it off. And I am going to stick it to the dull or printed side of my black acetate. All right. And usually what we recommend is that you start from one side and roll, pressing downward to the other side, so you don't get air bubbles in there. If you do, take a pin, poke them out. But from starting on one end and rolling to the other side usually works pretty good. All right, now I'm going to go ahead, now that I burnished it down, finger burnish it down, I'm going to come back and I'm going to pull up this adhesive coating. All right, and again, we're going to give it a bath in moon dust. The whole thing, just cover it. Once we've got that done, we're going to come back, we're going to burnish it, and we're going to color it just like we did before with the stickers. In an essence of time, I'm going to just kind of quickly do this and then show you quickly how to add a little bit of color to the rose. And again, you're going to burnish it. Don't forget the burnish. Very important. Finger burnish. Off camera, I'm going to brush this off with my anti-static brush. Just clean it up. Now I can come in. I'm on the back side. Here's the front side. On the back side, now I can come in. And again, I'm going to use that same color. It's just handy right here. And I can color that moon dust. And I can just color certain areas. Then I can go into other colors. Or I can take my blender pen again, and I can blend that color out into the rest of the flower or whatever it is I'm coloring. Okay, see how I did that right there? Hopefully you can see that. Find a white piece here just to, okay. So in essence of time, as I said, I'm not going to continue coloring that, but these are beautifully done right here. Absolutely gorgeous. This is one of our Christmas designs. We've got hundreds of the black print on our website. Check those out. Okay, then the last I want to show you is working with the glitters. Actually, I'm going to show you really quickly these samples. This is just the moon dust clear and a sticker over top, one of our baby stickers. Christmas. I'm going to go fairly quickly through these samples. They are on our website. This is adding a little bit of color sticker over top of the moon dust. This is one of our colored stickers. It comes green on top of the moon dust. This is a beautiful one. I love this one. It's fun. The Volkswagen, again, colored with a little bit of coloring. These are black print images colored on the back side. And this is one of the prints that my daughter did, or a sticker that my daughter did. This is when you graduate blending school. And I'm telling you, she's got a real hand in blending and coloring. It's beautiful. That is not done by me. Trust me. All right. So I'm going to finish up here very quickly and just show you some samples of it one more way to use this moon dust. It's so versatile. This is using it by putting, again, the glitter on a piece of our, or on a piece of our double-sided adhesive. I want to run out of time. And then we simply took and spritzed, once the glitter's on and burnished, we spritzed it with a spritzer of water. We wet the moon dust surface, kind of let it roll around a little bit. And once we had spritzed it in different areas, we added the color. I'm sorry, back up. You got to add the color first with your markers. Once the moon dust is on, add the color with markers, water-based markers, Tombows, Marvies. Add your color. Then spritz it with water. Got to back up the train and get it right here. And then you will get a finish or a surface like this, a watercolor effect. Then you can let that dry and you can add your stickers. Okay? So here's some samples of that technique, using it as a background, a watercoloring technique. This is one of our black prints again over top of that watercolored technique. Here's a sticker over top. These are stickers. Here's a sticker. So another great way to use it as a watercolor. Put the glitter down, burnish it, brush off the excess, spritz it with water, roll it around, move it around, and then once it's dry, let it dry. You like it, let it dry, finish it off, frame it, put a sticker on it, whatever you want to do. Great way to use the moon dust. So I finished up kind of quickly there. I apologize. We are running out of time, folks. I hope you have enjoyed this moon dust product review. Check it out on our website, www.stamponit.net. And join our email, please. We have a fantastic emailing. We let people know of sales, new videos coming out. We have a jammy video series that comes out every so often. It's just fun techniques using our products, new products. Sign up. We'd love to have you. Hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
Hello, my name is Kelly Hammonds, and I'm an independent consultant with Close to My Heart. I currently participate with Stamp and Scrapbook Expo in several of their cities, primarily in the Southwest and the West Coast. I really want to thank Sean and all the others behind the scene and those in front of the camera for inviting me back to talk with you today. In addition to talking to you about one of our newest product lines in our current July-August catalog, I plan to show you 2 different product demonstrations. Additionally, I want to make sure that you know about our VIP program that rewards our customers for being consistent, loyal customers. Anyone who signs up as a VIP earns 15% product credit on future purchases. They also earn a free stamp of the month whenever their order exceeds $50 in a month. They have access to exclusive products throughout the year. And when they sign up with me in particular, I have some other specials, including additional gifts at sign up, half-price certificates, and other free gifts. I have several specials that are exclusive to those of you watching my video. Watch throughout and hear what they are. Some of them require special codes, others do not. All of my specials can be found at kellyhammonds.com. That's where you can access my Close to My Heart store, my Story Savers exclusive store, and if you live in the Southwest, my retreat schedule. I'm so excited to share with you our July and August catalog with Close to My Heart. I'm going to start with our first paper pack, Wander. This is a beautiful, beautiful collection of papers and stickers and chipboard elements, Cricut elements. I just love, love, love the way this looks. Look at this beautiful, rich tones. This is a little bit of our paprika, Sundance, our sapphire, our peacock. It's just beautiful. So let's take a look at this paper pack. If you're familiar with our paper packs, all of our paper packs are 6 sheets. You get 2 each of 3 patterns or 3 different patterns. So what I mean by that is on one side you have this beautiful pattern and on the other side you have this pattern. I love the look of this. My customers love the look of this. It says it reminds them of the Grand Canyon. It reminds them of Sedona, the red rocks of Sedona, the beautiful sunset. You could see this anywhere where you're outdoors. Then of course we have on the back side a nice chevron pattern. The next page is a topology page with the greens, and you flip it over and it looks like a starry night. Just beautiful. If you're not familiar with our paper, all of our paper is 12 by 12 with an extra 1/2 inch zip strip at the top. This cuts off and you can use this pattern anywhere in your projects. Of course, on the back side, we always list what the product is and all of the colors that coordinate with it. That first page, you can see we had that nice zip strip at the top. And then the third set of papers is this sapphire pattern, our zip strip at the top with the pluses there in the paprika color. And then on the back is a beautiful camping, hiking, biking, compass. There's tents, boots, axes, maps, kayaks. So everything about the outdoors. We even looks like we have a little bit of hot chocolate there. Beautiful colors. Everything blends together very nicely. And then You have the option when you buy the paper pack to go with or without stickers. This is the coordinating sticker set with Wander. I don't know if the camera can even do it justice, but if you see here on the Wild Free, you can see it's kind of overwritten with some gloss. These are all glossy down here. Watercolor look with the glossy again, and it all just looks very nice. I like Close to My Heart because it addresses several types of scrapbookers and card makers. First of all, if you want to do something quick, fast, and easy, then we have our workshops, and I'm going to show you the workshop for Wander in just a minute. If you want to do your own thing, then you can take the paper collection and the stickers, and you can put together some beautiful projects, whether you're card making or scrapbooking. We also have our Picture My Life cards, okay, and those are these cards right here. Unfortunately, I don't have the live sample, but you do get 24 double-sided pocket cards. I don't always use them as pocket cards. These are great journaling cards. They're great title cards, and they coordinate beautifully with the paper pack. Of course, you can also order the coordinating cardstock. And then we always have a special embellishment for any of our paper packs. This is the one for Wander. These are chipboard punch outs, and hopefully you can see they're nested. So there's quite a few here. You've got this Roam Free, you've got this frame with the mountain, you've got this frame here with our happy place inside. There's that hot chocolate again. And so these elements look really nice on the pages. And when we look at the workshop, we incorporate these in the workshop. You'll see how these work so nicely. The other great thing that we have a relationship with Cricut. And so with every paper pack, we always put out a special Cricut collection. So this is the Wander collection. And not only do you get different elements, but you also get a card that will cut out perfectly for you. You can see right here, hopefully there's the card. Whoops, there it is. And then this is the layout that Cricut has already put together for you. So you literally pull this project up and say, make it, and it'll tell you to load your papers, and you come up with this beautiful 2-page layout. I've also taken some of the other elements and recreated this layout to get a variety of different 2-page looks. So let's take a look at those. For the first layout, I've taken the trees off the right-hand page, added the tent, the campfire, the s'more stick, and the lantern at the top of the photo on that page. Everything else remains the same. For the next one, I changed my title to Explore More, got rid of all the trees, and added the 2 cactus that you see at the bottom of the page. For this one, I just changed the background color. The title, the cactus, remained the same, but it looks more like the paper pack that looks like Sedona or the Grand Canyon. For the next one, I took the RV and the Happy Trails title from the card, and I put that on our page, and I changed the photo on the left-hand side to a 5x7. Each of the Cricut bundles that coordinate so beautifully with our paper packs are exclusive to Close to My Heart. That means that in order to purchase them or to even see them, you have to access them through your consultant's website, or your maker's website, as we're now called, makers. Even if you're an Access member with Cricut, you will not be able to see these collections. How do you see them? Go to your maker's website, and at the very bottom, scroll down to the very end, and click on the Cricut icon at the bottom. This will take you to the Cricut.com store and will allow you to purchase the collections that will then be accessible through your Design Space account. In addition to the stickers, the embellishments, and the coordinating cardstock, as well as the Picture My Life cards, we also carry stamp sets that coordinate with the Wander set. These sets also include thin cuts. You can buy the stamp sets with or without the thin cuts. The first set here is the card making Wander set. I also have a couple of samples that you can see. I love this set. It says, I'm a happy camper when I'm with you. Cheers to some more years, to another year of adventure. It has the little RV camper. It's got the tent, a bicycle. It's got the cute s'mores, of course, the mountain. These are the die cuts that you get with the set. You can see this one right here makes the cute little lake or pond. We've got the road going up into the trees. You've got the different trees, and it's a really cute set. Okay, the next set is our Wander scrapbooking set. Now you could use some of these on a card, just like the card ones you could use on a scrapbooking set, but some of these images are larger and fit better to a scrapbooking page. This one actually says My Travel Buddies, Adventure, Love at 5,000 feet. This says Whereabouts, plus Out, In, plus there's a backpack, Nature. This one says Weekend Warriors are for adventures. And then you can check off swimming, biking, climbing, boating, relaxing, hiking, whereabouts. This one says It's My, always say yes to adventure, and then some topography and the beautiful title of nature. So this is another fun set, again, with or without the die cuts. Everything you see in blue tells you that is something that we included die cut for if you get the entire set. And then finally, this is just one called Take a Hike. And again, everything in blue is something that includes a die cut if you get the whole collection. Otherwise, you can buy just the stamp set. This one says I'd rather be hiking. I'd hike that. Hills are my thrills. Hike more, worry less. Wonder, wander, repeat. Take a hike. Here's a water bottle. Sky above, earth below, peace within. Hills are my thrills. And I love this one, the boot with the mountains in the center of the sole. and then it says Let's Go. So these are the variety of coordinating stamp sets that we have to coordinate with Wander. Let's take a look at some of the pages that I've made with our Wander paper pack and stickers, and actually also our chipboard elements. So this is a beautiful layout. I love the elements that we've used, those chipboard elements, as not only frames for our pictures, but also some of the punch out pieces that fit around my pages. I can see myself using this layout for a lot of different things, just from the titles. It's in my nature, inhale, exhale, on top of the world, explore more. It wouldn't even have to be an outdoor or a camping trip. It could just be some pictures of my kids, adjust your attitude. I don't know about you, but we have to say that a lot in my household with our children. So I think just some basic pictures with my kids, this would be a really nice layout. Okay, let's look at the next 2-page layout. This one, you can see that I have used my zip strips, okay, just like I did on the last one. I don't know if you saw that on here. This is actually one of those zip strips that I've included. It really gives a little more bang to your buck when you're creating your projects. And again, a very nice, cheerful outdoor picture. This, if you can see in the background, is what I was calling like that Sedona or Grand Canyon paper, but we've covered it enough that if I were to use those pages independently, you'd never know that I've got a lot of repetition in my book. Love the water bottle. My daughter's always carrying around her water bottle. We've got just some backpacks, our happy place. This could be just doing something in the backyard very easily. Again, there's another one of those frames that I'm going to use to put a picture here. And then what I've done here is I have done some splattering with my ink pad and my water brush. So I've just picked up the ink on the lid of it with my water brush and then splattered it to give my page a little bit more texture. And actually that one's backwards, as you can see, because there's your banner. It goes this way. I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes my pages look just as good left to right or right to left, depending on how they end up in my book. Okay, and then finally, we have my Wander page. And again, I like this, gone exploring, always take the scenic route. This does not have to always apply to camping or outdoorsy. There's other family pictures I'm sure that you have that this would look really well with. There's that topology paper, and here I have done a little bit of stamping. So there's a little bit of stamping here. These are stickers. Again, this is one of the stickers in the sticker pack, a little place for journaling. And I love these colors, and there's more of that stamping. I just love the way that these turn out. Relatively simple, but again, I want the focus to be on my pictures and not necessarily the papers and the artwork around it. But this came together very quickly. Okay, let's take a look at the Wander scrapbooking workshop. Each of our scrapbooking workshops makes 3 2-page layouts. They're always 12 by 12 layouts. They include the paper pack, they include the stickers, they include die cuts that are special to this kit, and they also include a specialty paper that you cannot get in the paper pack or anywhere else. So I really like that even if I've already scrapbooked with the Wander scrapbook papers, the 12 by 12 papers and the stickers, I can come up with 6 additional pages to add to my album. I really love the way this looks. I'm not a huge camper, but I can still see myself using this with some outdoor photos with my family. So this is the first 2-page layout. I do use the place photo here mats until I'm ready to put the perfect pictures down. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll even leave those on and put my pictures on top so that they have a little bit of white border. So everybody's like, well, how do you put your stickers on? I'm really good about just adding everything where I can still just slide my picture underneath. Okay, so this is the first 2-page layout. This is the second one. I really like the look of this as well. And the idea for this one is to put some photos underneath this Let's Go. Now you're saying, well, why would I put photos under here that would cover something up? But if you do some nice background or outdoor pictures or scenery pictures, that'll look really, really nice. Here's where I've done that optional sponging with the stencil. So I've used our stencils from our core catalog and along with our Distress Oxide ink, and I've just rubbed that right onto my 2 pages. And then the final 2-page layout looks like this. Again, I'm not a big outdoor person. It's a little hot in Arizona, but we do occasionally go outdoors somewhere else in the country, and we go outdoors in Arizona as well. But I just like the time to travel title there and going exploring. And so this may end up being just a travel type picture, whether we're camping or not. I believe that this peach color. You can kind of see some of the detail in it there. You see that? And that is the specialty paper, especially for this kit. All of our scrapbooking kits do come with full instructions. We teach you exactly how to cut your paper. There's really very little cutting of the paper, okay? And then exactly how to lay out your pages, okay? And then, like I said, this one offers an optional technique, and so that is completely described to you in the instructions. Next up, we have the Wander card making workshop. Now, our card making workshops do come with stamp sets. They are exclusive stamp sets, and they also come with thin cuts or die cuts. Now, the great thing about this set, and this is the first time I think I've ever had this in a set, all of my die cuts are standalone die cuts. And what I mean by that is none of the stamp images actually go inside these die cuts. So normally I might have like a backpack and then I stamp the backpack inside it, or I'll have I don't know, a boot, and the boot stamps inside it. So you either die cut it and then stamp it, or vice versa. These are so unique, and I love this set. I don't think I've ever owned anything like it. So let me show you what I mean. This is the stamp set. It says, "Sending sunshine thoughts. I love you to the stars and back. You brighten my day. I thank my lucky stars for you." And then this really cool image gives texture to whatever you're stamping, and I'll show you that. There's a star, there's a mini star, there's a bigger star, and then there's this little circle design. So the first card I made looks like this. This one uses our pattern paper that you've seen from the Wander set, and then this background is using this texture stamp right here, and it gives it such a unique look. So to make this, what I did was I put down the blue star paper, but I cut my mountain scene out of the linen paper and just glued it right on top. The other thing that I did was I cut out the clouds from it. So you see how there's holes in this skyscape? I actually cut these clouds right out of it so that you can see the star paper underneath. So in this case, I used the positive image in my card. The card right beneath it, I actually used the negative of the card. So what I mean by that, this is an incomplete one, is I took the piece of paper and I die cut out the mountainscape. Okay, so the piece that was left over actually went into this card, and then the negative part is what I used to make this card. And so you see I taped a piece of white on the back. This is the linen on top, so I've got that difference in the color, and made this really pretty card, "Sending sunshine thoughts." There's where I used the little dot or the little circle image there beneath the sentiment. Okay, and then on the sun, hopefully you can see there that I've actually stamped that texture stamp onto the sun to give it some texture. Okay, so those are the two mountainscapes. Now over here we have the cityscape. So this one is really cool because I cut out the positive. Okay, so this is exactly what the die cut out. And then I inked up the edges and put it on top of my card. Again, using that texture, that really pretty texture stamp set there. This one is "Sending sunshine thoughts." And then this one uses the negative. So I cut the large piece of star paper, cut the cityscape out of it. Okay, and so I have that piece left over for a future project. And then I actually floated it up using my foam tape, so it rises up above, and did a little bit of inking into the background, put in my clouds. You see my clouds have that texture stamp, my moon, and then my sentiment with a couple, and everything uses the gold gems. So I really like this. I can see using it a lot, especially with the distressed oxide inks. Get some beautiful sunsets in there, whether you use the positive or the negative. And just like our scrapbooking kits, you get full instructions. Okay, the featured technique for this one is sponging, so you can see where I've done sponging on several of the cards. Really no additional purchase for that, just you'll need to have a sponge for that. And then we have our cutting instructions. Okay, so for the cards, there's quite a bit more cutting involved. It shows you exactly where to cut your die cuts out. Okay, and then we have step-by-step instructions on how to assemble the cards. This kit does come with the exclusive snap set and die cut. You can't get this anywhere else. And it also makes a total of 16 cards for each of 4 designs. Now, for some reason you don't like one of the sentiments, of course, you're always free to change your sentiment for something that's a little bit more appropriate for what you want to use your cards for. So again, big fan of this card making workshop. Less than 2 weeks into the month, and I've already sold a ton of this because of the uniqueness of the cityscape and the mountainscape thin cut that comes with it. The next card I want to show you is my waterfall card. We've had the waterfall die cut since last summer, and it is due to retire at the end of August, or while supplies last. But what I really love and why I wanted to show you this is the brand new stamp set we have called Happy Birthday, the Happy Birthday song. So this is the die cut. You can see the different pieces. It does come with instructions inside the die cut. It has multiple pieces. It has the 2x2 square, and then it's got some smaller pieces that you can put on top of the 2x2 square. And then of course the yellow piece is the waterfall bones that we're going to do. So to make the card, or to make the waterfall, you're going to need 4 of the squares, the larger squares. It does, they do come in it is the 2x2 size, sorry. And so it automatically scores the pieces that we need to bend. So the first thing we're going to do is fold it in half. Okay, and then we're going to flip up the bottom part up into the body of it. Okay, so fold it in half and then fold the little flap up. The next thing we're going to do is fold the other creased areas, and that's what's going to be the actual waterfall bones. I do use my boning tool there to make sure they're nice and flat, and they fold well. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that flap and take a little bit of my Tombow and just tape it. Now, I don't want it to stick to the back of it because it needs to slide. I just need the 2 pieces to stay together really well. Okay, the next step we're going to do then is we're going to stamp our 4 squares. I do want to remind you, if you're not familiar with our ink pads, our die ink pads, they are magnetic. Many years ago we had the ones that were so difficult to open, and these are so easy to open, and the pad is so much bigger. You can squeeze it together and get ink in the lid. And so it's just made opening our ink pads and using our ink pads so much easier for so many people. So I'm stamping the different verses to the Happy Birthday song. This is the Happy Birthday song stamp set, and that is brand new for our July and August catalog. Oh no, I stamped it and look, I made a mistake. It didn't get a good pressure. Well, that was my fault. You know why? Because whenever we have some sort of solid image, we should be using the foamy that comes with every single stamp set. And so now we get a good solid coverage of our ink. So I just wanted to show you that. Yes, I do make mistakes. I did flip it over. If I was doing it for a card and not in this demo, I would have cut a new piece of paper, but I wanted to keep moving, so I just flipped it over. You'll see that when we build the card, the backside is going to flip up and it's not pretty, but you get the idea. Okay, so now we've done all the verses to our song. And so there's some other pieces in this stamp set. There's a birthday candle, and I'm using second generation stamping where I stamp it into the ink and then stamp off and then stamp directly onto my finished piece. And so I'm making a border out of the candle around my happy birthday to you, my first square. For the next element, the happy birthday dear, and you can see there's the blank there. You can fill in someone's name. I'm putting some notes. So there's single notes and then the double notes, which I did there in the lemonade. And then on the balloon one, I'm stamping this little star. It's a little line flourish star just to dress up our balloon there. That's our final verse, happy birthday to you. So now we're ready to put the whole thing together. So we're going to glue the top of each of the squares to a section that we've already folded on the bones of our waterfall. Okay, we're just putting the adhesive on the very top line and lining it up left to right and then to where the fold is. Okay, you can see how it just lines right up, and I started from the bottom and worked my way up. It's just a lot easier. You don't want to have your glue overlap onto the other square, and there you go. And now we have our waterfall. So easy with this die cut. I have avoided doing a waterfall of any kind, and this makes it so easy. Best purchase I think I've ever made. So now I'm putting together my card. I did it originally on a slim line, but I wanted to show you that it also fits on a standard card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. The paper that I'm using, you can see that I'm using the reverse side. So on one side it's polka dotted, on the other side it is the stripes. When I glue the waterfall part down, I just want to do it on that back piece where I put the flaps over and just did that one little section because I still want it to flow up and down, back and forth. Now I'm taking some of our twine. It's actually not twine, it is embellishing thread. It comes in silver and gold, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that to make more of a pole. It's very fine thread, but it's very strong. I use it a lot on cards for embellishing, and I just like the way it looks. It's kind of elegant, but yet it says party. So I'm just tying it off. And now I kind of want to cover some of that up, so I'm going to take an extra piece of that striped paper that's polka dot on the other side. I'm just going to cut a little piece, a little rectangle off, and attach it to kind of cover up that hole, and flip it over, just trim off the extra pieces. And now I have a nice little pull area that looks better than just that yellow piece. And there we have it, our waterfall happy birthday to you card. Now I also want to show you, you could put photos on the waterfall. These are little place photo here cards. I did went ahead and attach 2. And so you could put photos in there. Anything that's a 2 by 2 square, you could get in there. And so my special that I'm doing is if you buy the waterfall die cut, I will give you the happy birthday stamp set for free. So it actually sings the happy birthday song to you as you waterfall it and pull it down. Well, I've run out of time for today, but before I go, I wanted to let you know that I was not able to get to a few more segments. First, we have the Party Time Happy Birthday paper, the Isabella set, which is also in our July-August 2021 catalog, and our beautiful butterfly die cut that I was not able to demonstrate today. I have made the videos available to you on my YouTube channel. I would also be remiss if I didn't at least mention flip-flops today. I love the flip-flops. So a unique use of the flip-flops is using them with your vaccination card if you have one. I'm afraid to laminate it because I'm afraid someone's going to make me get a booster, or I'm going to have to make a change to it. So I was really excited when I saw that it fits perfectly into one of our flip-flops. Whether you like the one with the horizontal closure or the vertical closure, it fits in the 3x4, and it also will fit into my passport. I'm hoping when I talk to TSA later this week that they'll say it's okay if I go ahead and stick it in there, and then I will have full access to my vaccination card whenever I need it. I want to thank Sean and all of those people that are working really hard at Stampin' Scrapbook Expo to make us all successful and still continue to show us all of the wonderful products that are available out there. Please don't forget the VIP program, as well as my specials and my products and the pre-orders available at KellyHammonds.com. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for joining me.
Welcome back, everybody. And I'll tell you what, Kit and Clowder, I mean, we sat here and first of all, the coloring was just phenomenal. I mean the techniques and so explanatory, but the voice, oh my gosh. I mean, if sitting coloring doesn't relax you enough, her wonderful voice, just the way that she taught.
I tell you what, Dave, I have been needing to take a coloring class for like my whole life. You know, I'm on Sean's Scrappy Boy Los Angeles design team.
Yes. And
I probably should really learn how to color correctly. So I definitely am going to take up this. But I'm afraid that I'm going to be taking the class and I'm just going to be just sitting, just listening to her voice and probably like just, because I'm telling you that her voice was, her coloring was phenomenal, like you said. But I could just hear her just speak to me. Just read books to me.
Yeah, I know we said she needs to do audio books. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But how, just how talented and the shading and all of those
how
great
she
techniques.
Talked about the high tile, I think, the mid-tone and the shadow, just the basic blending with pencils. But I know she teaches Copics, watercolor, I think. A lot of
I
stuff.
love the pencil because I'm starting my
love
colored
the
pencils. So.
Yes. And like I said, my friends are like brilliant. They color so beautifully, and they learn from her classes. So if you're in the market to learn, like me, how to color, correctly, I think this is where you're going to want to.
Yeah, for sure.
You're going to want to do that, yeah.
Great techniques, for sure.
Our monthly classes are amazing.
Oh, monthly classes. Mr. Sean is back.
Sean is back.
He's got juice in West Hollywood.
Yes,
now.
He's back to commenting correctly.
So.
We love Sean, but yes, so definitely look at that. And so the show special for Kitten Clowder is 15% off all online coloring classes for markers and pencils at Kitten Clowder using the coupon code STAMPEXPO. And you could tell that, this is how you could tell that it's like Australian, because you know how like they spell coloring with the U?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Like in England. And I love it. Okay.
Across the ocean, was that what they... Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So thank you, Kitten Clowder, and we love... From Australia, how wonderful is that?
Yes, so Australia.
Awesome. And then we had Stamp On It, and they always have great little tips and techniques, and they were showing us using their, they have the different glitters, the clear glitter, and using their adhesive sheets, to make their literally glitter sheets. She said like when she peeled it off, gave it a bath and everything. And I can tell you that you do need, she said, at least get 2 of those anti-static brushes. Those are amazing when you are working with glitter. You think you can just, that's why everybody used to, when they'd use glitter, they'd take their finger and then you'd be at the airport 2 days later and you have it in your eyebrows because you didn't have one of those anti-static brushes. So you want to use that. And their sticker sheets, I love she talked about the embossed stickers, where that backing, it's all one piece, and you can put that on, and your glitter shines through as well. So
pretty.
So just love it, and they have so many of the stickers in so many different colors too.
Yeah.
So I love that. And also you can use the markers and such to color on that.
Over on top of the glitter paper, the glitter. Yeah, that moon dust glitter.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Like she said, it isn't, it's kind of like very fine, so it has that real pretty, like, illuminating.
Like a subtle, illuminating,
Yes. And you can color, like she put the outline sticker of the mandala, and then she colored, and I thought that was a really cool tip because if you don't know how to blend with the different colors, you just use the blender marker to spread out that ink, and it was such a beautiful technique.
Yeah.
That was really pretty.
Yeah. And also, they sell, the different tips for your liquid glue.
Yeah.
To where you can, trace around. She did the stamping and tracing around to add the glitter, like the moon dust and whatever color glitter. So.
Right.
And some of those tips, that one she was using, she said it was just like a pencil tip. So you can really get really fine detail, and just that little bit of bling, just kind of finishes that part of the project for you.
So cute, so much on the website, like she was saying, and I know that she was also saying that they have a email or a website that like you could email and get information, and just really neat things that they have there that are different. I was looking for different things, so a lot of beautiful stickers. It's just awesome.
And they have the different things on their videos on different techniques and things. Just and they always have new products, so it's a good way to learn some techniques on using those new products too.
Exactly. So Stamp On It, thank you so much for being with us today. And they are offering 20% off all regular priced items, plus free shipping on orders over $50 using the discount code MOON21. Okay, and the offer will expire on July 31st.
Awesome. So thank you, Stamp On It. Can't wait to see them at a show soon too. So.
Yes.
And then we have Kelly Hammonds from Close to My Heart, and we talked about Close to My Heart. Their products are geared towards all crafters. If you are a scrapbooker and you want to have somebody help you lay out your projects, it's perfect for that. Or if you want to do your own. Same way with the card making. They have different sets, and you can follow step by step, or you can do your own. But they always have everything to complete it. They have stamp and die sets, and what I also like about it is that you can buy them separately as well, instead of having to buy all at the same time. But they just always have great product. And that VIP program, excuse me, you want to check that out too, because that's something that you'll want to get involved in, because you can be a regular shopper and get some great deals, and you kind of get the little extra info early, I think, with products too. So
Yeah, I loved that wander line that she showed. Most of the projects that she was showing, and my goodness, the catalog must be simply amazing because of all the things that she was showing. It was amazing. The Picture My Life cards, the cardstock, the stamps and the dies. I can't even imagine.
And their inks too, if I may. Their inks are the ones that have that magnetic
I love that
top on it, and I love it. I bought some. Now the thing with those is when you stack them, they also magnetize together.
That's good, though. They come in a stack. Just beep, beep, beep.
But I know that they have a really nice caddy for those stamp pads too. So
I'm always in the mood for storage.
But I just love having that magnetic top in it. You don't have to worry about it getting sealed or not getting sealed and it drying out. So great products, and I order a couple colors here and there.
That's good. Okay, so the show specials from Close to My Heart. There are so many, so you're going to want to go and visit the show specials under our show special, because we're running out of time and there's a lot. Yeah, so there's just some really cool things, like if you shop her Story Savers exclusive store, there's going to be a free Happy Birthday song stamp set with the purchase of a waterfall die, which that's really good.
Yes.
A new core catalog pre-orders, ooh, that's really good too.
Yep.
So
the deals get better.
There's different bundles for flip flaps. Those are my favorite. Shimmer brushes, etc. And join her loyalty program for additional exclusive offers, including a $10 item of your choice at sign up, half-price certificates, and other free gifts. Okay, and the offer will expire on August 15th, so you have some time.
Nice.
So go on and visit the website to see all the amazing deal.
Sales, yeah. And you know what's nice about the groups that are like with Close to My Heart, the consultants? It's almost like you have a little own personal, not shopper, but consultant on, hey, this is coming out, and they get to know you, so if there is something coming out you might like, they can give you a little heads up.
That is very true.
Yeah, so.
Very, very true.
All right, everybody, we will be back right after our next presentations.
Hi everyone, it's Michelle with 𝐂𝐭 Couture. I'm so glad to be here today. I wanted to talk about a few things before we get started on our project. For those who have been watching me or following me on my business page, you know that 𝐂𝐭 Couture partners with a charity called Watts of Love, and we raise funds to send to Watts of Love and to purchase lights to give to families in need all across the world. And this year, well, every year they have an impact trip where they select a few designers to go and tour with the company Watts of Love to deliver these lights to these amazing families. And this year, thanks to everyone's donation here, and including those of my customers just in general, I was selected to travel this September with Watts of Love to Malawi, Africa. And so I wanted to give a special thank you to everyone here who has donated any money in the past or joined in on any of my auctions to help raise funds for these families in need. It's a charity that's dear to my heart, so if you would consider donating, you can just comment Watts and I will send you a link to donate. The need is real, and I'm excited to experience firsthand educating these families on how to lift themselves out of poverty, and I appreciate your support. So, that being said, we had a launch at the beginning of July of some amazing new products, and we are going to use a couple of those today in our demonstration. The first transfer that I'm going to use, this is from a size C transfer, and we are only going to use a couple of these. If you've seen my demos in the past, I will educate you a little bit on how to take care of the transfer at the beginning of the demo. And so what do I always say? Let's head down to the design table and start chalking. Here we go. All right, and I will try to keep my eye on it to make sure I get everything in the frame. So this is another new product. This is a simple shape, and it's just a simple, small piece of wood. It's already comes painted white, but you could paint it with any of your favorite colors that you like. I like using our chalk paste when I paint because it dries very quickly and you can move along with your project fairly quickly. So we are going to do a couple of the designs. I've already cut this in half. The transfers come on a backer sheet that is white, and you just simply cut along the lines to make sure that you get things straight. And we're going to use these two. I thought they were super cute. And you can see how quick and easy it is to put together a project. The great thing about this, these are little holders that hold these simple shapes. We have simple shapes in circles and squares and now rectangles. So you can make a simple little beautiful design to deliver to a family if you're going over for dinner and you didn't want to show up empty-handed. This would be the perfect little hostess gift. So we are going to do the Hello Pumpkin first. And we are going to take our fuzzing cloth, and we all know we want to fuzz a little so it doesn't stick super well to the wood. Wood fibers tend to pull up. Transfer is sticky on one side. after I wash this transfer and put it back onto the backer, remember sticky goes with shiny. So that's how you would store it. And you're just going to take the transfer just a couple times. Doesn't take a whole lot. Just put a little stick on it. You can put your fuzzing cloth aside, and we will use that again in just a hot minute. So you're going to take your board, and you're going to take your design, and you are going to center it to what looks good to you. And that looks pretty good. We also have some new colors. So I got these when I went to convention, so I haven't actually got my first order yet, but these are Shimmer Pumpkin and Shimmer Spruce. So they're gonna have just a little extra bling in them. And these are the singles, even though they do come in jars. We are gonna use the singles. You get quite a bit in a single. And if you fold them up, these are singles that I used months ago. And I just took them and I took all the air out and I folded them really tightly, and you can still see it's really super squishy. So that paste is still good. And I just take my singles that I've used in the past, and I take a binder clip and I just clip them all together for the next time I want to use them. So that's just a little tip on singles. So we're going to take some of this spruce, which is just going to have a little extra bling in it, and we're going to use that for the greenery here on this design. And then we're going to use the Shimmer Pumpkin, and we're going to use that for all the words. So I'm just going to squirt a little bit out right now. I will use that spruce a little later on a second project. And oops, I didn't clip that good enough. We're going to take this pumpkin and do the same thing. Oh my goodness, it is so pretty. I haven't seen it. So cute. All right, then we're going to take a little squeegee. I have one for each color. And I am going to do the pumpkin first. And make sure I have a good seal. Oops, let me scoot this back. If it'll let me. Oh, it won't. So we may get a little movement with the camera. So you're just going to take the pumpkin. I apologize for that. Hopefully you don't get seasick. And we are just going to cover up all the words. And you're going to, or all the letters and the words. They are all going to be done in pumpkin. And this is a perfect color for the fall. I love our shimmers because they just give each design just a little extra bling without having to use, you could just use regular paste and then cover this with glitter and then just tap it off. That would work as well. But why do that when you can do it all in one step? And then you're going to just take this green, you're going to carefully cover the greenery, ever so careful so you don't get it into the words or pull any pumpkin, which wouldn't be terrible. So those of you who are going to the, forgive me if I butchered the name, but is it Schaumburg? I will be at the Schaumburg show, so I would love to meet you. So come by my booth and say hello. And then you're just going to lift up the transfer. I can get my nails under it. Sometimes the nails are a blessing and sometimes they are not. And today they are not being a blessing. Okay, we're going to peel it from this end. And the big reveal. It's my favorite part. It is so cute. I'm going to set that transfer aside. I will wash it within the next 24 hours with just a little water. But isn't that gorgeous? In just a couple minutes, I have a beautiful design that I could take to a friend or set up on my table or my bookcase or whatnot. So stinking cute. All right, so that is fall is in the air. And you can still see I have like a bunch of paste left over. I hardly used any. And one design is already done. So I'm going to set that aside and we are going to work on another. This is still going to use pumpkin. I have another simple shape. And this one is all going to be in the pumpkin shimmer. And we're going to just repeat the process. Obviously, we're going to use our fuzzing cloth. And if you're interested in this in a kit, just comment pumpkin and I will send you the link for a kit full of this in the simple shapes. And you can redesign on the back side of the simple shape if you wanted to put this one up for just in the fall, and then the other designs on this transfer can go for Thanksgiving, so you can carry yourself right through September, October, and November. So I think that's good enough. You're going to do the same thing. Line up your transfer how you like it. I just want to make sure I'm straight on the top as I am the bottom. This would look pretty too if I wanted to use a gold or a bronze for the hello. But since the words are running together, I don't really want to take the time to have to really watch running into this L with this K. So we are just going to use the pumpkin shimmer all over. Same thing. Spread it on the screen. Scraping most of it back up. And it is just as easy as pie. How about some pumpkin pie? Can't wait. Everything pumpkin, right? We are coming into that season. And it's time to prep. All right, you can see I am almost done. And I can tell this one is going to be just as cute as the first. I haven't even used this entire packet of pumpkin. I'm going to scrape this all back up, make sure I got all the screen covered, which I think I'm good. And we are going to peel up this transfer. Oh, it's gorgeous. If you've never chalked before, it's the most satisfying feeling to be able to create something fast and easy and have it look so professional. All right, so this are our first two projects, and I actually have two stands to display them on. The stands come in a packet of two, as do the actual simple shapes. So you can see how cute and easy that is. We're going to set this aside and we're going to work on another project. So we're taking ourselves straight from fall to Christmas. And the reason I'm doing it is because it's another new design. It's our cutting board. This is how it actually comes in this plain wood color. I took some of our chalk paste, I mixed a little bit of water with it and used it just as a paint because it dries really quickly, and my transfer will hopefully not pull up this paste. So this is the transfer that goes with this. It says, "I'll be home for Christmas." Super cute. It'll go super easy as well. Fast and easy, and that's what we like, right? I'm just going to cut it out real quick. And this transfer comes with a couple little extra words that would be perfect for our tags. If you wanted to give this away as a hostess gift as well, you could use one of our little mini tags and chalk one of these sayings on it, that would be perfect. So I'm going to set that aside for right now because we are not going to use that. We are going to repeat the process. We are going to fuzz our transfer first. Remember, you need to wash your transfer within 24 hours. After I do this video, I will go into my kitchen and I will wash them off with just plain water. Do not let them soak. The transfer is water soluble, so you do not want to let them soak, but they will last over and over again if you take good care of them. So we're going to fuzz this just a little bit extra because I'm working on a painted surface and I want to make sure that I do not pull up that paint. The reason I painted it is because I wanted my lettering to be done in white as opposed to brown. And let me see if I can show you what the difference is going to be. So this is the tree done in brown, which I think it looks great, but I wanted mine to be white. So that is why I painted it white. You're going to take your transfer and you're going to line it up as best you can. This one will have a little bit, there's a lot of screen. So you're actually going to see whites in the tips. It's going to show through white instead of brown. And on this, you're going to really want to make sure you get it on there good because it has so much screen. And we are going to try to work in one direction. So I'll be working from the top down. I'm going to use a little bigger squeegee. So I'm going to set this one aside. I'm going to use this size squeegee, which is our regular squeegee. And I'm going to use the rest of the shimmer spruce. And I'm just going to squeeze it into the tray, which I probably won't use all of it, but that's okay. And I am just going to work from the top down. I don't want to press too hard because it's a lot of screen and I don't want to overwork it, because the more I overwork it, it is going to want to try to pull up that white paste. You're going to try to get it in one swipe, just so that we don't overwork it, if at all possible. But yet you don't want lines either. So let's hope this works. The goal of these demos is so that you are not afraid to go for these transfers that are just a little bit different. So if you see a lot of screen, a lot of people might be intimidated by the project, but don't. The great thing is, except for on wood, you know, this is a washable and reusable product. Okay, I think I have pretty good coverage. I'm just going to look closely to make sure I don't have anything shining through. And I think I'm good. I'm a little messy, but I think I'm good. Let me grab a little cloth or I'm going to get pumpkin all over my tree. I'm just going to take a little wipe, clean off my thumb, and hope for the best when I peel it up for you to see. How cute is that? So you can either decorate this with a cute little ribbon at the bottom or whatever makes you happy. So cute. I love it. All right. Come back up. Sorry, that's my dogs. This is a real live house. I'm excited to get back out on the road. Like I said, we will be going to the Illinois show. Hopefully we'll be in California if that opens up. And I want to thank you all for watching. Comment tree if you're interested in the cutting board design. Remember, I have a monthly club where we can design cute things every month. You can comment club and I will send you a link to that as well. But again, thank you all for your support over the last year and a half. It has been since I believe, November of 2019 since I've been able to do a live show with you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you in Illinois, and please stop by the booth and say hello to Denise and I. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Hi there everybody, it's Linnea for Sassy and Crafty. Today we're going to make two dinosaur themed cards. One is going to be more bright and childlike, and one kind of more grown up with more muted colors. So it would be great for a card for a guy. I'm using the Dino Roar stamp set, the Jurassic stencil, and the Dino Track stencil from Sassy and Crafty. I absolutely love this whole little collection of stamps and stencils. My son is 5 and he loves dinosaurs, and so the second card I'm going to make today reminds me of him, and so I'm going to color the little boys like him. Let's start though with the Jurassic stencil. I love this stencil. It creates an easy silhouette pattern with the little T-Rex and the Triceratops. I think they're just super cute. So because this stencil has some fine areas with the greenery and the dinosaur silhouettes, I'm going to spray the back fairly well with Pixie spray, let that dry for about a minute, and then I'm going to come in and start doing some ink blending. I'm ink blending with Distress Oxide inks, but any inks you have will work. I started there with Antique Linen, and now I'm using some Fossilized Amber, and then moving into some Peeled Paint, which is the green color. And then I will also be using some Frayed Burlap, which is like a brown color. So I'm keeping this palette more muted. It would be great for guys or for like a masculine card, but you can definitely go bold and bright with this stencil as well. And I want to do that, maybe create a rainbow background. I think that would be cute to have here too. So I'm just going back and forth with my blender brushes and with all 4 colors of those Distress Oxide inks, blending those inks together well. But because the majority of the stencil is a silhouette stencil, so when I peel this off, you're going to see that the dinosaurs and the ground and everything are masked off, and they're going to be white. So you don't have to work really hard to blend these together. I wanted to create a little bit more texture, so I wiped off my stencil, but it is still in place. I didn't remove the stencil, just simply wiped it off. And then I'm going to take some bronze shimmer watercolor, get that good and wet, and then I'll dip my brush in and just flick some of that paint onto my background. So that gives some extra texture, kind of looks like little dirt flecks in the background, but it has that added shimmer, which I think is really pretty. I'll set that aside. That watercolor will take maybe about 5 minutes to dry or so, not very long because it's just little taps of watercolor. And I'm going to work on my second background. So this one is using the Dino Track stencil, and I'm going to do a similar technique where I grab a bunch of inks and blend them together. So for this card, I wanted to kind of make this one brighter and more imaginative because I'm going to be using some of those dinosaur stamps from the Dino Roar stamp set. So I'm starting with my Squeezed Lemonade ink, and then moving into Twisted Citron, which is this bright green color, and then I'll end with Kitsch Flamingo. So that pink is going to blend with the yellow and create some orange, and which I think is really pretty. You could have gone with a pink, yellow, blue color combination and gotten a whole rainbow effect, but for some reason I was just drawn towards these 3 colors. So again, just adding some random areas of ink all over my backgrounds, and then I'll come back in with each of those brushes and just blend them together very quickly. And then when I remove this stencil, you'll see I have that fun background pattern there with lots of different colors. And you could even have gone bolder and brighter with those colors and really had fun with that. I stamped out 2 of the dinosaur stamps from the Dino Roar stamp set onto white Copic friendly cardstock, and I'm going to do some coloring. My coloring is very simple today. I just wanted to lay down some quick color and have a little bit of shadow, so that's why I start with my darkest marker when I'm coloring. I always say there's lots of ways to color, so color how you learned, color how you are most comfortable. I learned to color with my darkest marker first, and then go to my medium, and then to my light. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm starting here with my green color combination, which is 𝐲𝐢𝐭𝐡 09, 𝐲𝐢𝐭𝐡 06, and 𝐲𝐢𝐭𝐡 03. Started with the 𝐲𝐢𝐭𝐡 09, and I just added some color where I think there would be shadow. So I'm imagining the light coming from the top, and so I added some shadow around where those scales are because I thought there would be some shadow underneath. And then I also added some of that darker 𝐲𝐢𝐭𝐡 09 marker down at the bottom of the dinosaur, because if the light is coming from the top, then there would be shadows on the bottom. And then those little hash marks that are right on the middle of the dinosaur for those like texture bumps, I added some of that 𝐲𝐢𝐭𝐡 09 marker right over there as well for some extra dimension. Then I took my 𝐲𝐢𝐭𝐡 06, which is my medium marker, and just blended out that 𝐲𝐢𝐭𝐡 09 a little bit everywhere that I had put that down, except for on those little dimension marks in the center of the dinosaur. I wanted to leave those with more shadow. Then I'll take my 𝐲𝐢𝐭𝐡 03, which is my lightest, and just blend out the rest of that little dino there. My yellow combination today that I used on the scales and then again on this drawing that this cute little toddler has done is Y19, Y08, and Y06. I chose these 2 images to color because I thought that it looked like this little toddler is maybe like 2 years old, 1 or 2 years old, and he's sitting there drawing some dinosaurs and just thinking creatively, using his imagination, and imagining what it would be like if he was a little bit older and riding a dinosaur. So here he is drawing these dinosaurs, and then here he is kind of grown up, and the little boy looking like he's riding the dinosaur looks like he's maybe my son's age, like he's 5. So I thought these 2 images would be really cute to put together on a card and just show the imagination that these little boys have. I colored in my flying little pterodactyl dino there. I used BV08, 04, and 02. And then I colored in their hair with some E35 and E33 markers. And now I'm going to be doing just a little bit of blue on this little guy's onesie here. I used to dress my son in onesies or little rompers, little one-piece rompers all the time when he was in diapers. I thought they were just the cutest little things. So I wanted to kind of color this in a blue little romper just like my son used to have. So I used BV 05, 04, 02, 01, and then 00 all over to blend all those colors together. And then I will really easily use my scissors and trim around these images, leaving a slight white border. All that's left to do now is to stamp some sentiments. So I'm going back to that Dino Roar stamp set, and I'm going to stamp just a couple sentiments right on here. So the card on the left, the one I did first, all that I need to finish this off is just a sentiment. Same thing for the one on the right. So the one on the left you could easily mass produce and create a whole bunch of these really, really easily using all colors of ink blending. So you could personalize it for a girl, for a guy, anything that you want to do. So I'm just going to grab a sentiment there, and for this card I'm going to use a dark brown ink just to kind of keep with that more muted tone. I thought the black would stick out a little bit since there is no black in that image. And then for the card that I'm working on now, I'm going to go ahead and just stamp that imaginative sentiment in black ink, and then I will pop up those colored little characters with some foam tape and put that right onto my card there to finish that off. So I hope you've enjoyed these 2 dinosaur themed cards. They are both definitely different, using the same Dino Roar stamp set and then just a couple of stencils from the Sassy and Crafty store. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you've enjoyed these two cards and this little technique of blending different colors of inks together to get some multicolored backgrounds. I'm just going to show you these cards one last time. I love those watercolor ink flecks on that Jurassic stencil. I think it really brings out that silhouette design. And then this last one here is just so cute and whimsical and imaginative. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye!
Hi everyone, Annie here from Stamp Anything with another simple and fun card project to make for the day. So we are going to start off with our palm tree dies, and I just simply cut them out of some colored cardstock. And the brown piece, I'm just going to snip off the top part of what the green palm fronds would be so that I have a different color trunk on my palm tree. And then I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down to get the palm tree construction ready to go. So just applying some glue and then going ahead and adhering it to the bottom of our palm tree like so. And now we're going to go ahead and start adding some details to our palm tree. And the die also comes with some coconuts and a piece of like sand. And we're going to use those as well. Now the coconuts I cut out of chipboard instead of just colored cardstock. And then I'm going to take my T4 just to add some shading to give the coconuts and my palm tree more of a dimensional feel. So I'm just adding a little bit of a shadow with that T4 to the right hand side of the die cuts. And if you weren't going to use Copic markers, you can just either leave your die cut completely alone with the paper that you're using, or you can use some ink to go ahead and do the edges as well. Then I'm going to use some of my Prismacolors. I have my PC 908, PC 909, PC 1095, and then we have our PC 945. And this is just going to add some more details to my project. So I'm going to start with the coconuts, with the browns, and I'm just putting in a dotting effect on the shadow side of the coconuts. And these are the pretty small little coconuts, and they do come in two sizes. So there's not going to be tons of details that you have to put on them. And then with the lighter brown, I'm just going to repeat the same process, just to add some texture to the coconut piece. And then I'm going to take my micron pen and do the same thing, just to be adding some of that contrast right right in there as well. Okay, now we're going to do the same technique to our palm tree. So for the trunk, we're going to be using those browns again, and we're just adding a stippling effect just to texturize the trunk of the palm tree. And then we'll go in with that lighter brown. And repeat the same process. And then we're also going to go in with the greens to do the leaves up on top. So first with that darker green in the darker parts of my shadow. And you're just pushing down on your pencil to get little dots. They're not going to be uniformly circular, and that is okay. It is just to add some texture and some added detail to your project. So just continue those on the one side of each of these palm tree fronds here. And then once we're done with this dark green, we're going to do it again with the lighter green. And again, this is completely optional. You can leave your cardstock completely plain. You can chalk edge ink the sides if you want. Whatever you want. You can even use patterned paper. Whatever you have on supply and whatever your aesthetic look is that you're going for. Okay, we're just going to finish up with this last one. And then again, we're going to take that micron pen and just to add a little bit of that darker contrast down the sides of both the trunk and the leaves. So it's just a super quick and easy stippling effect. And these pens come in different sizes of their points. So if you have the chunkier one and then the finer one, you can even just use those. These markers, pens even come in colors. So if you didn't have colored pencils, but you have the colored microns, you can just do that instead of the pencils. So there's my palm tree. And now I'm going to go ahead and get those coconuts. And I'm going to glue them to the little base that also comes in the die of the coconut. So you know where to layer them together. And we're just going to go ahead and glue them on. And just be aware of when you're gluing them on that you have your shadows all going in the same direction. Okay, so there's the second one. And now we're just going to grab that third coconut. And go ahead and glue him down as well. And now we can take the cluster that we just created on that base and go ahead and put that into the center of our palm tree up on top. And this die comes with a larger palm tree and a smaller palm tree. And I already went ahead and prepped my smaller palm tree in the same exact fashion of the large one we just created. Okay, so the next part that I want to do is I want to go ahead and start prepping my base. So I have our double-sided sheets, and I cut that to fit my card mat. And I just put it on the base of my A2, which after I die cut the palm tree, because I want one of the palm trees to be an inlay. So I die cut the palm tree, and then I put my sticky paper on the back side. And this helps to it's just a lot faster than having to glue pieces down. And then it just fits right into that cutout piece because of that sticky paper from behind. And now it's all nice and smooth and flat for that bottom layer. Okay, so then we took our shaker basics, and I already cut out 6 in chipboard of the ring, and then 1 cover and 1 acetate for my shaker bit. I had these pieces prepped ahead of time. And so now I'm just going to try to figure out where I'm going to put this shaker when I put my card together. Just trying to figure out my layout. This is that piece of sand that comes with the die. And then we have our second little palm tree. So we're going to go ahead and start building our little shaker. So I'm going to go ahead now and put that acetate window up on the top. And depending on what shaker bit you're using inside determines how much chipboard rings you need to make for the thickness of what will hold your shaker bits inside. We're using sequins today, so I didn't need to do 6 layers, but at the time I was prepping, I didn't know which ones I was going to use, so I always use 6 as my minimum. So now that we have our window on, and that is, we're figuring out where we're going to have it go on our card. Okay, so we're going to now fill it with our little sequins bits. These are our sunset sequins. And we're just going to plop some into the shaker wall that we just created. And again, you could put anything you wish in here, sequins, clay bits, little pearls, whatever you happen to have. I just thought these would look really pretty with palm trees to make it look a little tropical. So just filling this up with our little sequins. And then we're going to take our back piece to our shaker and just glue that right on and seal everything up with our shaker card. So again, you're just applying your glue, and everything's going to line up perfectly because you are using a die, so you won't have any hangover edges. Now you're just going to place that right on top, make sure it lines up. And then we're just going to make sure we have it securely adhered. And again, I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to be putting my pieces for the layout of my card. I didn't see if I want the sand to be behind the shaker or in front of the shaker. And then I also want to use a word die. So again, I'm using that double-sided tape. And our glitter cardstock. And this just helps with doubling layers as well, so you don't got to glue them, especially on the word dies. Some of them have some skinnier areas when you're gluing the pieces together. But I was going to sandwich some chipboard and then also the glitter paper to make that sunshine word like this thicker and more sturdier, because it is going to overhang off of the circle and I didn't want it to be too flimsy. And again, I'm just playing with the placement right now to see how it's all going to come together. And you can see how the sunshine hangs over the shaker, so that's why I needed that stability for it. But then I ended up deciding I did want the sand to be on the top because I thought it made the sunshine word pop more. So we're going to go ahead and glue down our shaker into the farmost top right corner. You just want to make sure it adheres well to the back of your card. And then we're going to take that piece of sand part, but again, this is also going to be flimsy because it's hanging over the shaker part that is 6 chipboard thick. So we're going to need to put foam tape underneath the pieces to make that more sturdy. So we're just cutting pieces of foam tape in the areas that are going to be touching the actual bottom part of the card. And we're just going to be layering this up until the height of the back of the sand piece matches up to the height of your shaker part. And for me, that ended up being 3 pieces of foam tape. So we're just going to go ahead and make 3 layers of the foam tape. So that way it's sturdy and then everything is level on those areas. And again, depending on how high you make yours, you'll have to play around to figure out how much you would need. So now I'm also going to just do 2 little areas off to the side. And again, it's just 3 levels of foam tape for mine. So we're just going to go ahead and cut and adhere 3 layers of the foam tape. Now we just have to do that last section. And you're just building up the back side so it matches your shaker height. And we just need that one more piece. Now we're going to go ahead and put that last third layer on the side, and then we're ready to go. Okay, now I'm just going to make sure I got it all in the right spots of where it's going to be sturdy. And now we can go ahead and remove our backing tape and place our piece of sand on the bottom area of our card. And now that is in place for what we need. So now we have our word die that we're going to adhere. And then our last palm tree. And I want the curve of the palm tree to kind of follow the curve of the circle. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that down. And now we can go ahead and do our placement for our word die. And don't forget there is a little I that is not the dot of the I. So you don't want to forget that. And I know I only have to glue the back sides of some of the letters because some are going to overhang. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my glue on the back side of the center letters that are actually going to be touching the shaker. And then I'm going to go ahead, place that down. And then grab the dot of the I. And put some glue down. And now we have our sunshine all in place. And now all that's left to do is maybe add a couple of random sequins to the sides of our card where there's some empty space. Just to fill in that negative area. And add one or two on the rim of our circle frame. And you can use any embellishments you want, sequins, gems, jelly dots. I like this sequined blend a lot because it's got the oranges and the yellows, and then it's got the iridescent ones as well to capture the light. And then we're going to just stick one more on the sunshine word. And there we have our cute little shaker card. And all that will be left to do is putting it,
Kevin Beck FaceTime video.
putting it to the card base. And like I said, it has the double-sided sticky tape that we put on the back side. So we're going to go ahead and just grab our card base. Make sure we have the opening going the way we need it to go. And then all we're going to do, oops, lost the sequin there. Just remove our backing paper. This stuff is super, super sticky because it is the 3M brand, but it also helps making inlay dies and word dies, turn them into adhesive so much easier and quicker for you. And there you have your card all ready to go. You can stamp a sentiment on the inside, and there we have it. I hope you enjoyed this quick demo that we had for you today, and have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we will see you again soon. Bye!
Welcome back, everybody, and we hope you enjoyed those presentations. I know we did.
Absolutely.
And starting out with Chalk Couture, you know, it's always great to have some home decor,
Yes.
projects on
I
there.
love it.
And you know, we're a little bit familiar with Chalk Couture and the how you can make a beautiful home decor project just within minutes. And the stencils they have, I loved. Oh, I got my wrong glasses on. Ball is in. I gotta hold it over here. Ball is in the air. Gosh, we were talking. It's like, oh my gosh, it's almost fall.
I know.
Holy shebango!
I can't believe it.
I know. But
summer's my favorite
holiday.
Holiday, yeah.
Oh my gosh! But no, they do such a great job, and you can use those. They're not the stencils. What's the word I'm looking for?
Oh, transfers.
Transfers. Yes, thank you. The transfer. Yes, and you can reuse those. And like she said, they clean up quick with water. They have a phenomenal sprayer that we know about as well. But when using those chalks, it just takes just that little bit, of chalk. You get a container of that chalk or a pack of chalk, and you can do several different projects.
Exactly.
And you can, if you have, you want to check out all of their great products that they have where you can put the chalk on. They have all different types of boards and things.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all reusable, so as easy as the transfer cleans up, you spray the water and you can make a brand new project.
Exactly.
So love all their projects and their transfers, so you want to check them out and get some home decor because fall is in the air.
It is, and it's a great time to get a jump start on all that because it's going to be here. I start decorating like in August. I don't know if any of you do, but I do love decorating for fall.
I mean, as soon as the kids go back to school.
It's fall. Yeah. So right now, I agree with you. I love every single thing. There are so many different surfaces. I know that if it's wood, I don't believe that it does wipe off, but every other surface, you can just spray it and wipe it down, and then decorate for Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's, everything.
Change your ribbons and do that.
Exactly.
And you got a new decoration.
Right. So that's what I love about Chalk Couture. And it's going to be so nice to see her in Schaumburg.
Yes.
Right?
We're so excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
So right now, Michelle is offering 20% off all in-home stock. And she says just message her to schedule your shopping spree.
Look at that.
So that's really good.
There you go. Another personal shopper.
Yeah.
Almost. Well, thank you once again, and just great home decor projects. And then we have the Sassy and Crafty group, and I got to meet them in person in Duluth, which was wonderful.
How was that?
They had a great booth. They came in the Mega Make and Take. They let people use heat presses for their project. So, it was just phenomenal. And with this new dinosaur stamp
cute.
and stencil, love that, love it. Both, that stencil is so versatile, where you can use, like she was saying, you can use any type of medium to make that background.
Mm-hmm.
You can use other products to make it more dimensional, and those wipe off and you can use them easily. But I love all of their images. I'm going to say they have a look. They're just such great images, I think, of their stamps that they have. And,
I do. I love them.
Yeah, and this stamp set is second to none to everything that they already have.
I know, especially if you have like a grandson or a son. I know we were talking about our sons. My son was obsessed with dinosaurs when he was little.
Yes.
And this is a perfect set for, your daughter-in-law, your daughter that has a son that has the same. You could make so many, gift bags. You could stamp for birthday parties, all kinds of things. I think this stamp is just so cute.
Yes, and when probably, I'm sure that I still have pictures of.
I do too. I was thinking that.
Yeah, when we went to, back in Ohio, in Columbus, there was this place called 𝐂𝐨, and it was called the Center of Science and Industry, and they had the Jurassic Park dinosaurs on display, and they went on a field trip. So this would be a perfect set to get.
And right now in California, it's all over the news. In Pasadena,
yeah, the drive-through.
They have the drive-through dinosaur experience.
There you go.
If any of you are gonna do that with your little ones, what a perfect stamp set to commemorate your event today.
Get those reactions.
Yeah.
It's drive-through, but you're still going to be able to get reactions.
Exactly.
With the kids,
so cute. So excuse me. So Sassy and Crafty, whoa, when you go down the wrong tube.
She's all choked up, folks.
Yes. Their show special is buy $25, get 15% off using code SASSY25. You're going to get a free gift with any order over $75, and that is going to expire on August 1st.
Great. So thank you, Sassy and Crafty, and it sounds like we're going to get to see you in Schaumburg as well. So, but it was such a pleasure meeting you, and you guys had a phenomenal booth, not only on the floor but in the Mega Make and Take too. So, fun girls to work with. So they were all fun. So, and then we have the one and only Annie from Stamp Annie.
Yay, Annie!
She's known for her coloring and everything, but just like with this, the palm trees and coconuts and sand. The die set, she made a card and she just added so many details.
I know.
With
we
that.
were like, what?
Yes.
That came to life.
Yes, and when she was cutting the palm trees, it's like, that's what I do. I like to layer because I'm still just do a little bit of coloring, but it's such an easy way to add, just with paper, adding the right colors to the project, and then outlining the leaves, just added, and I mean, just every step.
A little stippling dot.
Yeah, it's almost
different pens.
It's almost like when she colors her chibi kids, how just with literally almost every stroke, it just comes to life more and more, and just like with this die set, I mean, she just, I don't know, it just kept coming to life. So
right, and she has an amazing website with so many dies. I mean, there's like mini book dies. There's all kinds of just really cute, dies, but then also mini album dies and stuff.
Yes.
All those types of words, sentiments, things that you need, and oh my goodness, everything is so adorable. She's so talented, right?
Exactly.
I'm her biggest fan, I think.
And she always, and those chibi kids. I mean, there's just one for everybody, or every occasion.
And I want them all. So, Stamp Anything, thank you for being a part today. And her show special is 15% off all dies.
See?
I love dies.
There you go.
You're going to use code DIES/15. And that is awesome. Yeah.
Very
so,
good.
very
Awesome.
Good.
So another great at-home classic shopping experience here at Stampin' Scrapbook Expo. We want to thank all of our sponsors who participated today, and we want to thank you for watching as well. And like we mentioned at the top of the show, Schaumburg, we're getting packed, ready to go. We're going to be there August 20th and 21st. Can't wait. I know our mega and our play dates, they are filling up, so you'll want to start clicking, getting those tickets. We have some great workshops, and of course our wonderful exhibitors that will be there to let you get your hands on those products once again in person. And then also this week we announced we're going to be traveling to Mesa in September. Yes, I know. Can't wait for that. Always love that location. Love keep in contact with a lot of the ladies from there. And so that one is the 17th and 18th of September. And just keep checking our website for when registration will be open, and you'll be getting that information too on our if you signed up for our newsletter.
Right.
As well. So a couple things before we wrap up. As you know, Scrappy Boy and I both have a stamp company now, little stamp company. Mine's Hill Street Stamps, and I had stamps, but I now have coordinating dies for my my childhood home set, and my having fun set, and my Dad's Gone Fishing set. So those are on the website now. And then also coming up this week, there will be a bundle price where you'll get a great deal on the stamp and die set as well. So can't wait to see. Yes, these came in literally the day before Duluth. So this has been the first chance to be able to let everybody know about that.
Aren't you so excited?
I know. Check them out.
So awesome.
And then
I
Scrappy
want to
Boy, this is so much fun.
share with you his new stamp set. It is so cute. It's in Gilmore Girls. If you love that show, I know my family's obsessed with it. It's inspired by the Gilmore Girls, so there's all kinds of really fun sentiments. Oh my goodness, it's just gorgeous. Stars hollow, life is short, talk fast.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
There
Coffee,
you go.
coffee, coffee.
That's right.
It's just really awesome. And you guys, this is the most exciting part. It also has a die with it. So that is fabulous. You're going to want to get your hands on that.
Yeah, check that
so
out.
Cool.
And you can find not only Scrappy Boy stamps and Hill Street stamps on the Expo site, but you can find all the great merchandise that we have here at Stampin' Scrapbook Expo.
Right.
So you'll go to the shopathomeevents.com and click on merchandise, and you'll get to choose there's a little tab where you can click on each one. So but make sure that you if you missed any of our presentations today, that you check those out on YouTube. And we can't wait to see you in a couple weeks. Will be our next play date here at Stampin' Scrapbook Expo. So we hope to see all of you soon.
We love you. Have
Take
a good
care.
day. Bye.
Bye.